we live? My OBS still says offline, but then I check my Twitch and it says I'm live. I don't know what's going on. It's okay, I guess. I think my OBS lags a little bit sometimes, but that should be fine. I hope. Okay, there we are. It's my little chatting screen. I'll be making some art today. It's a little bit of a sleepy stream today, because, oh my gosh. Oh, work felt long. Even though I wasn't on my feet quite as much today, for whatever reason, it just took so much more of a mental toll on me. It was a lot of, like, learning stuff that I hadn't practiced that much before. So, really trying to, like, exercise my brain in a way that I wasn't quite so used to. Particularly because I was trying to practice analysis work, and that's always tough. But on the bright side, well, I think the weather is pretty lovely today. I'm the kind of person who really likes, what's it called? I really like rainy weather. And so today's kind of like rainy, a little bit chilly, so it's nice and cool outside. Last week was a bit, it was really hot over here, like really hot and muggy and humid. So I was struggling a bit to stay alive. But yeah, here we are. Here we are. How's everybody doing? I think I'll open up my Clip Studio Paint, which is my, what's it called? Drawing software of choice. Here, let me open it up here. There we go. I've got my little cheapy tuber like perched on my shoulder. Hold on, let me move it a little bit so it's, yeah, a little more, tiny little bit more visible. I wonder if the lighting is a little bit weird in my room today, because I'm noticing my model is like freaking out a little bit more than it normally does, and the tracking is a little bit wonky, but I'm also too lazy. I kind of give up on it, because whatever. I give up. Hopefully I don't have to restart my tablet. I didn't even like check to see if everything calibrated. Okay, there we go. This is the commission that I've been working on. Actually, I should probably message the client real quick and just let him know that I'm streaming. I got permission from him beforehand to let me stream working on this. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So, fantastic, fantastic. I'm gonna say working on your on stream today. Yeah, I have no idea what his availability is. Don't know if you'll check in or not, but I'm hoping to get this commission done before the end of the stream. I mean, I've got most of it done already, so we'll see how long this takes. I've been delving into a lot more of these, like, I guess, like, higher, what's it called? I wouldn't say higher resolution. Well, kind of higher resolution. It's definitely more than before. But, like, adding a bit more detail, a bit more quality and care, especially into the lighting of things. There's a lot that I've been trying to work on with my art, with just adding detail. Hopefully my model doesn't look like too fucked from this angle. Oh my god, I look so creepy at certain angles. Oh no. Oh, hell with it. Okay, let's see. What was the vision here? What was I doing? Oh my god. Can I just... I don't see why this has to be darker. I think it's just... Oh, I think it was just a slight, like, saturation change. Okay, well, I can just sort of... Here, let's do the 75%. God, I got sidetracked already. I've been trying to work more on adding more details and just like taking my time with refining the rendering of the art so that it's not quite so rushed all the time. I used to be in sort of the mindset where I wanted to get things done as quickly as possible and like get it to the client or like make sure that it's ready to post. And now I'm trying to put a little less attention on that and more focus on just getting quality work out. Particularly because, like, thank goodness I don't I'm in a like luxurious position to be able to say I don't rely on this as like my full-time work. And so as a result of that, I get a lot more flexibility in what I'm able to do, and I think I shouldn't take that for granted too much. I used to a little bit. And I also, to be fair, I was doing a lot of commissions before because I was still in school. So I didn't have any other sort of income source, and I was like bleeding money because everybody in school is like usually bleeding money. So yeah, I have tried to do a decent amount of commissioning or a commission work over the course of like the past little while, and then I think like over the course of the past year specifically, I just sort of started to dial it down. My passion for doing commissions really dwindled because I just realized I kind of just want to work on my personal projects, get stuff done that I want to get done, and like work towards my overall goals. Like one of my big goals this past year has been working on my VTuber model that you're seeing right now. Because, oh, oh my god, this model took me forever. And some of like the early work in progress stages, like the face looked completely different at that time. Nowadays, or like now the model that I have, sorry, I'm like brushing hair out of my face, so my model is freaking out, but the model that I have currently, the one that you're seeing right now, went through a lot of different iterations of like design changes over the course of like multiple years. And the face also went through multiple changes as my art style was shifting and changing and adjusting to what it is now. And even now, like I still find myself drawing certain facial features inconsistently, or I like want to try a different way of rendering something, or try different like shadow sort of lighting and things like that. It's a lot of experimenting. But it's been such a cool journey overall to get the time to play around with all this stuff, really. It's been so much fun. I've also been really happy with my progress with colors in the past couple of years, and I would say definitely within the past year. Like it's been a bit of a pain point for me for a while, so I'm definitely a lot happier with the way that I'm using colors. Still not where I really want it to be. Like especially with this like purple and yellow color scheme, I'm not quite as familiar with it to be honest, because I'm used to a like deeper blue and a more golden yellow. But in this case, I'm drawing a blonde or like bright yellow colored um hair of this character here. I forget what her name is exactly. Oh shoot, I closed my friggin' thing. I keep flipping between the two because I'm trying to open up my Discord. There we go. What was it again? Hold on, I'm trying to like scroll through to see the name of this character was. Oh, my client responded and he said that he'll join in like 30 minutes when he gets home. That's nice. I think it was like Barges or something, and I think it was from like Fate, one of the Fate series, Fate Grand Order. Let's see. Okay, here's where all the references were for it. And then, yeah, from FGO. Was it Barges? I could have sworn it's Barges. Bargest. Bargest? I'll clarify with him later. Barghest. Very cute character. This commission also went through like multiple iterations of what I had originally drawn for it. Partly because, and this is like a bit my fault, definitely my fault. My client gave me no deadline, and when I'm not given a deadline, I'm really bad at adhering to self-discipline. That's definitely a really big problem of mine, especially when it comes to commissions, because I don't know. especially with school and work and so much going on the side, it's always so hard to like really focus up on something that's not supposed to be my main focus by all technicalities, but it was something that I did on the side, and of course I like very much so enjoy it. But in some cases, I really just need that deadline to pull things together and push me through to the end. So he gave me no deadline, and I insisted. I was like, I require a deadline, because otherwise you don't know when you're gonna see the end of this commission. And it's, so just to say, it's been a little while, and I've redrawn this commission like multiple times by now. I think this is the third iteration I've done of this commission, honestly. But each time it's been really interesting to see my progress over time in terms of my art style and the skill that I have with making background drawings, as well as character poses, my proportions, like the proportions of my characters that I draw have gotten significantly better. My understanding of like the amount of space that each limb takes as well. That has been really interesting to see my progress with that, because like some of my drawings from like, I don't know, say a year and a half, 2 years ago, probably closer to 2 years ago, like some of it, like the anatomy, like it makes sense. It's definitely like the arm is there, but the amount of space that it took up, like there's something just like a little uncanny about it. And it was just, everything felt way more flat. And I didn't really understand this at the time, particularly when I remember there was this like, I think one person in my Instagram comments where they were like, well, a little bit of your art lacks depth. And I'm like, what do you mean by depth? Do you mean like story depth in the sense that like I need to be telling more of a story with my art? Or do you mean like perception depth? Like I didn't understand what they were trying to get at because I simply couldn't see what I was missing in my art. And then like as I developed my art skill and like observed other people's art over time, I slowly began to learn a bit more what that person meant. And I was like, oh, actually, like they were spot on. I really was missing a lot of that depth because the arm is not just like a flat brick. It actually takes up a round, almost cylindrical, but with nuances, of course, like almost cylindrical shape. And once I started incorporating those like cylindrical guidelines along the arm as I drew the sketches, the more things, the more my anatomy improved, and I was able to see, okay, now with this arm here, it interacts with these objects in a certain way. And so that was a big revelation for me. So that is also something that's like significantly improved since the first iteration of this commission that I drew for my client until now, where now things like interact with each other a little more, like this sort of like bit of skin that's like pressed against there. The lines of the muscles make a bit more sense. Because I made her limbs really thin in drawings before, but if I look at her reference, she's a buff girl. She got muscle on her. She's definitely a dommy mommy lady. Uh, but I wasn't drawing her that way because I just wasn't used to that kind of style of proportioning. A lot of the characters that I had drawn before were a lot more slim and were like a certain style of clothing, and so now like going into this with that in mind, I had a lot of trouble at the beginning when I couldn't really understand anatomy enough to be able to differentiate. Like I could, obviously I know what different body types are, but I was having a lot of trouble like putting that down onto paper and actually visualizing it because I was like only focusing on that one type of perspective with anatomy. Similar to how a lot of artists will fall into the trap of like always drawing faces at a 3/4 view, which I do that too. So I'm definitely not innocent of this at all. But it's exactly that, where like you just gotta practice the different perspectives, and as as you practice, it'll get there bit by bit, slowly but surely. So I've been pretty happy with my progress lately. Something else that I've noticed that's been really interesting as well, and I keep saying interesting, but I don't know like how else to describe it, is in particular the progress that you can make with something without actually like having enough time to practice per se. I think someone in one of my previous streams within like the past couple of weeks, they were like, oh, I would love to learn piano, and I tried to learn piano, but I didn't like I couldn't get really far because I just didn't have a whole lot of time for it. But what's really interesting, and something that like is hard to recognize when you're learning as like say a child, for example, is part of learning is observing, right? And this is kind of done passively when you're a kid. You don't really think too hard about it usually, I feel like, because you're like, I don't know, trying to focus on all the other shit that you have going on in life. And then like also like your brain is not really functioning to its full capacity in the sense that like you're still like growing, you're still maturing, your brain is still like growing as well. And so something that's super important to remember when you're learning really anything, to be honest, is like making sure you're observing what other people are doing and then trying to incorporate elements of that into whatever that you're working on. And that's something that like I've always thought really hard about when it comes to my improvements with art, because I don't have a whole lot of time sometimes to sit down at the drawing tablet and actually hammer out a piece of art, because all of this takes so much time. And I also don't really have the time or energy, really. I just don't care for like any of those art drills where you see people like sitting down and drawing a circle over and over again on a sheet of paper for like, I don't know, hours. Warm-ups and things like that, or like doing extensive amounts of studies, for example. Like all of that is super, super helpful stuff, and I definitely don't want to discourage anybody from doing that, because it definitely is really valuable to do, for sure. And I've done some studies in the past as well, and they have been very, very helpful. But for those of you who like don't have a whole lot of time for that, because you're working or you have school or you have other obligations that you need to attend to, or just it's just simply not at the top of your priority list, it is still possible to work on improving without actually doing the thing, simply just by observing. So like if I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'll see a lot of artists that I follow posting their art, and I'll look and I'll be like, oh, they drew their nose in, or they drew the nose of this character in this very particular way. I think that's really appealing to me. And so in that sense, I'm observing something that I like about their art, and that way I start to like slowly file away these observations into the sort of repository of shapes and images and textures that I have in the back of my head. So then the next time that I do actually get a chance to sit down and draw, I'll pull that back out from my brain and I'll be like, oh, this was something that I wanted to try. And then when I try it, then I can start to do the tweaking of how I want to incorporate it into my own art style and how I want to adapt it to what I envision to be pretty or beautiful or interesting, per se. Does that make any sense? I don't know, I'm kind of rambling over here. I'm so tired. Oh my god, today has been a long day. But yeah, I've like noticed that even though I don't always have a lot of time to make art, like of course you have to make art to get better at art, but there's so many more facets. Like it's not just a one-dimensional thing where you just practice and then you just get better. There's also so much of like the observation and the thought that goes behind it that helps to really like boost your improvement, I would say. Also, hi, Oi. Hi, Chai. Oh, hi. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Hello, hello. It's good to see you. Oh my gosh. Chai, I haven't spoken to you in so long. Like, we gotta call. We gotta call more. I think Meru also wanted to do something at some point. I know, like, because Meru said that she was going away for a little bit until, like, September. She's cooking. I'm trying. Yeah. I'm not super happy with how these lips are turning out. I just need to add a little more shading. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so unfamiliar with these colors. This particular color palette is so hard to work with for me. I just like, I'm a lot less familiar with it. Because again, like, as I was saying before, I'm so used to like deep blues as opposed to purple colors, and then like bright golden yellows. And this is like close to that color scheme, but not quite. So I don't know, I'm like struggle busing a little bit. Yeah, she's been super busy this month. Yeah. Every time I'm like asking her what her schedule looks like, or like we're trying to work something out and she's like asking me what my schedule looks like, I don't know, it always seems like she has 50 things planned. Wishing her the best though, because my gosh. She better get good rest. Good rest is good for your health. Long day today. But I am really so happy about the weather. It's such a nice week where it's finally like cooled down a little bit, so I'm not like melting my ass off every single day in the hot sun. My fave two busy I two fave busy women. Yeah, always have something to do. Always something on the schedule. But yo, if you ever want to hang out, literally just grab me. Just grab me. Just take me away. And then like I'll make time. I'll always make time. We'll figure something out. Cause at least like thankfully for me, my work is really contained. Like I physically am not able to take my work home without like violating HIPAA. So that's like one perk of like working as a tech in the med field where I don't have permissions to bring stuff home. Like I don't have the qualifications for that. So thank goodness for that. Yeah, well, don't worry. We'll make time. We'll make time. We'll always make time. Just been kind of rotting with art comms. You have been so busy with art comms all the time. Like, such major props to you for, like, grinding that hard. I can never do what you do, to be so honest. I tried. I did try, actually. Like, while I was in school, like, trying to do art commissions. And, like, that shit's hard. Doing all that. It's hard. I work for 6 hours today. I want to draw for me now. Yeah, and that's the saddest part about commissions, where it's always art for someone else, but art is really such like it's a tool for self-expression, and when you are only expressing what other people want and not your own ideas sometimes, like we all will try to like draw something for clients that also helps us express what we want in it, right? Like put ourselves into that art in some way, shape, or form. But it's like it's never quite the same as like doing something that you want to do for yourself. It's so tough. I hope you get time to do the stuff that you want. You've been working so hard all the time. I wish there were a way I could help alleviate your stress. I want to draw my chubby women. Yes! Your art style is so cute. It's so pretty. It goes back up over here starting tomorrow. Oh, the temperature? Yeah, my gosh. Jeez, I hope you guys will stay safe. Stay hydrated. Don't die outside, please. I still need you. I'll pay for the shipping label to get Kana to you. Oh my god. Girl, we gotta pay a shipping label to get you or me over to the other person. I'm still so sad that our summer trip kind of got fucked up by, I don't know, the political landscape. Things have been crazy, and I don't want to get into it too much on stream, but my gosh. Everything's always changing, and a lot of uncertainties floating around, so it's been tough. Get lots of Rets chai. Me getting support a 5 streamer ASMR right now. I always gotta support my wife. Come on. Gotta support my wifeys. Come on. You know how it is. You know how it is. My love for my wife never ends. It never stops. It never wanes, truly. I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want to do the shading for this. I am so not used to drawing more buff women, so this is really good practice, but also muscle groups? Hello? What are those? Never heard of them. I'm also like, this brush, it's pretty, I would say it's pretty good for blending, depending on like how exactly you're trying to blend. If you're trying to get like a really smooth blend, like a lot of like, I don't know, Pixiv artists will do, or like a lot of like generally anime styled artists will render. Like if you want to get that smooth shading, it's a lot more difficult with this brush. Because this brush is super textured, so I'm like having trouble figuring out how exactly I want to do this. I guess I'll just do blur, maybe? I don't know. Blend? Blend brush? Sure. I don't know, like when I blend and make it look kind of like airbrushy, it doesn't always like work well though. Ah, it's tough. It's tough. Muscles are so much harder. Yeah, I really do want to get better at that, especially back muscles. Hi, first time chatter, Cinefrost. I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for dropping into the stream. That's such a nice name, by the way, Cinefrost. It like rolls off the tongue really nicely. Really good choice of name over there. Thanks for joining in on the stream. I'm so not used to also like using purple as like a shading tone. I don't know, like the complementary colors are really going burr with this art piece. So we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. I'm doing a lot of experimenting with this, but I'm already a lot happier with how the like general composition is for this in comparison to like what I was making before. So it's already an improvement for sure, I have to say. I'll take it. I'll take what wins I can get. Good, thanks so much. Love reading too. Thank you. It was a really random name that I came up with some time ago. Okay. I mostly had like a pretty shitty phone growing up, because I would always get hand-me-downs from like whatever my brother. Oh, jeez, Mimi. I think she fell off the chair. Oh my god, is she okay? Sorry, that was my cat causing a fuss. She seems alright though. So like back in like high school, I think it was when I created this username, I switched from like using a nickname to using like this current persona. And at that time I was like, well, I don't really know what kind of name I want to go with, but there was this one mobile game that I played on my really shitty phone back then. And I don't remember what this game was at all. I don't remember. I just know that it had like a generally red and black color scheme. This doesn't narrow it down at all. Had a generally like a red and black color scheme. I don't know, like a lot of like shadow themed attacks. You're trying to like battle your way out of the underground, but like I don't even remember if that was like exactly how it went, but oh yeah, just like your typical like hack and slash like platformer type thing. I don't know how to describe these well, but I hope you get what I mean. Like the general gist at least of what I mean. And the main character that you start out with, you can like unlock different characters that you can play, just like a few of them, like a mage class and whatever else, like a rogue class. You start out with like, I don't know, warrior or rogue or something. And it's this like male character, and I was like, oh, so what's a male kind of like fantasy sounding character name that I could use? And I came up with the name Karn. So I used that for a while, and I was like, Karn, that sounds like a badass name. Karn spelled like Karn, not like corn or like, yeah. So, which is just like a really random, made up, has absolutely no meaning at all whatsoever. Andre, I think you're going to get raided. Oh! Oh, thank you! Oh my god, thank you so much for the raid! Holy shit! So many first time chatters! Welcome, welcome! Welcome, Dalski and Harune Sumire. Steve Shadow 115, thank you! Welcome, welcome! I was just talking about the what's it called? The origin of my name, speaking of which. My name is Kanasomnia. I am a Dreamwalker VTuber, so I traverse your dreams, and when you wake up, I don't know if you'll remember me, but I'll be around somewhere. I'm mostly an artist. I do illustrations, and I've been working on live 2D models lately as well. So I made my own live 2D model, and I rigged it myself. I think my rigging sucks ass, to be so honest. But I can make live 2D models just fun, I swear. So I'm mostly an artist. I also do piano as well. So at some point in the future, you'll probably hear some music streams. And I also do a little bit of gaming. I just finished playing Undertale the other day on, I think, Monday. I finished playing the last bit of Undertale, my very first time playing the game, so that was very exciting. So yeah, that's mostly the vibe of my streams. It's pretty chill out here. I'm not usually super like high energy or crazy when it comes to things. Particularly because I'm usually streaming on weekends when I'm like trying to recuperate my energy, or after work when I'm trying to recuperate my energy because I'm tired from work. So yeah, if you want like a chill, calm atmosphere, some art and some creative stuff, that's where I come in. That's freaking crazy, so much work. It looks great. Thank you. I'm so glad. I feel like it really paid off, and it took me so long to finish this. My God, Lama, I feel that 100% for real. That's right, Kana. So cool to know you. For those of you who aren't familiar, Chai is my wife. Absolutely my wife. No lie. No lie. Cinefrost is now following. Thank you! Thank you for the follow! And again, thank you so much for the raid. That's such a pleasant surprise. I never like expect anybody wants to raid. So that's really exciting. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. Nar you, Chai. Come on. Come on, come on. Hold on. I get nice meeting you. Nice meeting you too. I'm gonna go. Hold on, I'm gonna go on Twitch and I'm gonna search up your channel because I'm gonna go give you a follow too. Oh, let me mute this tab real fast before it starts playing so much audio. Hold on, hold on. Cinefrost. Gotta go support. Gotta go support the community. Whoa! This is such a cute model. Oh, I love the purple hair. And like the hood and the cute necklace. Oh wait, this is so cute. Oh my gosh. And the ears. Oh, so cute. Very cute model. Looking respectfully. With so much respect. So much respect. I gotta work on the highlights for this, but I think I'll add the highlights towards the end because I have a feeling I'm gonna end up like painting over the highlights if I'm not careful. So I do want to avoid that. I'm reserving front row seats to all vow renewals. Yes, yes. My one and only true love. Oh, I never finished my story about like how I decided upon my my name Conasomnia. So so back to that random ass mobile game that I don't remember the name of. I chose the name Karn for the male character that I was playing. And then at some point I really wanted to play like I don't know, the magician or like I don't know, it was some sort of like wizard type character that would cast spells from a distance. And I was like, ooh, I usually like ranged weapons. So I went and picked that character, and it's like a female character. So I was like, okay, what's a female sounding version of the name Karn? Because I wanted to go with something different so I could differentiate between the characters. And I went with the name Kana, and I was like, okay, that's kind of a cute name, and it vibes well. I like it. And I'm like, again, not putting that much thought not putting very much thought into the ideation of this name, but I was like, oh, it sounds cool, I guess. So I went with it, and then it ended up sticking so much, even though it was literally just for this random mobile game, that I wanted to use it as the basis for all of my other usernames for everything else that I was creating, all of my other social media accounts. So that's where the part Kana came from. And then the other part, Somnia, sort of came from the idea of like sleep and dreams. And I've always been obsessed with like moonlight and nighttime. And if you see like the general theme of like the art that I make of my own VTuber model on stream or like just generally on any of my social media platforms, you'll see a lot of themes of stars and moonlight and nighttime stuff. So it's a lot of like dark blues with bright golden sparkling yellows and a lot of like soft tones and very saturated like golden colors. Yeah, so like that has been something that I've been sort of obsessed with, has been sort of my own muse, I guess, throughout time. So yeah, that's where the Somnia part came in, and then it kind of just stuck well enough. Because as I was searching through platforms, and I was like, okay, well, let's hope this kind of name isn't taken. It was not taken, so I was like, okay, I think it's unique enough that I can keep using it. And now it's just what I use. I'd follow it. It's always interesting to hear where everyone gets their usernames from, right? It's so personal, and it's so interesting that like some people will have like very mixed feelings about their given name at birth, like their real name, depending on like, I don't know, their upbringing or like just what their name means or for whatever reason. And I've always loved the idea of sort of forging my own identity that is something that I've created myself. It makes me feel like I have a lot more agency over who I am and how I present myself. So I love the idea of creating names and creating personas, and I had so much fun designing my VTuber model for that precise reason, because it's just so much fun to play around with those ideas and like allow myself space to explore my own identity through these different characterizations. That too, for sure, I'm with you. You're so well spoken, by the way. Thank you. I try. I actually started streaming because I wanted to get better at speaking. Uh, in high school, like as I was growing up, I was so introverted and very much so a shut-in, like the most gremlin type behavior you've ever seen. I didn't really go outside much. I talked to my close friends, but I didn't really like put myself out there quite as much as I might have wanted to. And I felt really insecure in a lot of ways, probably because of how I was raised, among other reasons. And so it was only like once I started going into college and making my own decisions, having a bit more agency over myself, that I like found myself getting better at expressing myself, and then I became obsessed with that idea. Oh, that's me. I speak gibberish. No, I feel that. I mean, like, you should see me when I get really tired. I speak total nonsense. I stumble over my words, so it still beats through, but it definitely took me a lot of time to get to a point where I could sort of speak a little bit more fluently. And I think it's just like having spent a lot more time over the years yapping about myself. It really is just a yap. And also something interesting that I've noticed, that's been really funny to me actually, is sometime last year I switched jobs, and like that's part of the reason why I ended up taking a extended hiatus on streaming. I streamed it just like a little bit because I got a new PC from a family member last year, and that upgrade allowed me to finally like stream more consistently. And then I switched jobs, so then my schedule got flipped totally upside down. Um, and at my previous job that I had when I was streaming last year, I had to do a lot of like calling of people as a part of my job. And so I got really good at speaking clearly and concisely with people over the phone. And I noticed it very clearly. Like, I think another one of my family members like commented on this. Like, my dad was like, like you started speaking a lot more eloquently. That's very good. That's very good. Because he was always big on like, um, getting better at presenting yourself in a way that'll make others like take you more seriously. Because that was something that I was always really insecure about, and I had asked him about that multiple times. Where I'm like, I feel like as soon as people talk to me, I'm a small person, by the way. I'm really petite. I'm like 5 foot nothing, and I'm very opposite of intimidating. And so when certain people speak to me and approach me for the first time, they kind of just assume a lot of things about my temperament, some of which are true, a lot of which is true. I'm very like a more of a gentle personality. I don't enjoy conflicts. I don't get angry super easily. So a lot of that is true, but also at this point I'm also not a pushover. Like don't test me. So um a lot of people would not take me seriously. They would think that like, oh, Epica, thank you for following. Thank you for the follow. I hate to raid and run. By the way, I gotta go get munchies. Love chatting with you. Love all the art. It was nice meeting you once again. I'll leave a lurk and see you around. See you around. Thank you so much for the raid. I'd love to chat with you more in the future. So good to meet you. Hell yeah. Enjoy your snackies. Take a break after stream. You deserve it. Yeah, I had so much trouble with like presenting myself in a way where I could feel confident. Partly because of that initial perception of people where they assume that I don't know what I'm doing or that I'm just too young and inexperienced to know. And it's like, I'm young and I'm inexperienced in many ways, but don't underestimate me. And that was something that always frustrated me, that people's first conclusion was, you have a lot to learn, instead of like waiting to see what I could do. Because I felt like in a lot of cases, I was able to exceed their expectations. Um, Partly because I set the bar so low from the beginning. But yeah, like that self-image was something I struggled with. So over time, like when I went into college and like had a bit more time and agency to express myself in ways that I felt was comfortable for me, it was like breaking myself out of that. And like at my previous job, I spent so much time practicing speaking that it became a bit more natural. And then I switched to my current job. And what's really funny about that is my current job is a lot more like behind the scenes. I talk to plenty of people, but it's always like the same people that I work closely with. And so I get really comfortable with them because it's like, oh, it's just the same people. They know who I am. They know my work ethic. I don't really have to like present myself any particular way. I can just sort of like goof off and do whatever the hell. But like that at the same time meant that my speaking skills declined because I no longer had to speak super coherently for people to still understand me, if that makes sense. That sounds terrible now that I verbalize it. But yeah, like I found that kind of annoying after a while because I was like, wow, I feel like I'm speaking like shit again. I can't like convey myself properly. I don't know like how exactly I want to put these thoughts to words. And so that's part of the reason I've started up streaming again. It's so that I can build up that skill again and like return myself to a state where I feel like I can actually say what I mean and not dance around the topic 50 times. Like searching for the right words. So that's been a huge motivator as to why I'm trying to do this. And it also gives me so much more energy to get through my day at work. I was so excited to come home and stream art and actually get more work done on these art pieces. Because I've had these sitting here for a while, and oh my god, it's really nice to be able to share my art with other people, like while I'm drawing. That's something that I've searched for a while, like a community where I can just like idly make art in a VC somewhere or something, stream my art, and then like chat with people while I'm doing art. And like the server that I used to do that in, I just like stopped going there as frequently because I've been like really busy and had other things going on. So as a result of that, I was like sort of losing that space and like, yeah, I just want to yap and make art at the same time because just like making art is fun and fulfilling, but with my attention span, oh, it's garbage, I tell you. So I really gotta like do something while I'm making art. I have to like put on a show or I don't know, a movie. I binged the entire Twilight series on Netflix. I finished the whole series while I was drawing or something at some point, and like I didn't even realize how far I'd gotten, but oh my god, I learned something about myself that day. I love trashy movies or like movies that I think are really like I don't have to watch it super closely in that sense. But and it's like just entertaining enough for me to like have a lot of fun with it, but also like not so engaging that I'll get distracted from my work. No hate to any Twilight fans. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. It's not hurting anybody. It's totally fine. But also, I just think that like so many things about it could have been done better. Such a shame. Oh no, I love bad movies. I keep trying to learn how to drop it. Every time I make slop, I just drop it. Oh, it's such a hard battle to fight, I feel like. Especially when you approach it in such a way where you have like high standards for yourself. Oh man. I would definitely recommend like giving yourself a little bit of grace, a little bit of forgiveness. Like you don't have to be perfect. In fact, like you shouldn't be perfect. You're gonna have plenty of time and like, oh, me too. Like plenty of time where you feel like your art looks like shit, but you just gotta keep going, girl. You just gotta keep going. Just power through it. Because that's exactly how you learn. And like, focus on little things, like one thing at a time. You don't have to be everything or do everything at once. You can just like do little bits and pieces, work on little things here and there. Like, I've really segmented my learning of art into smaller bits and pieces, trying to like learn certain skills one at a time. And I think colors was like one of the last things that I focused on. I started out with doing random character designs because one of my close friends in like middle school, I saw her doodling in her plan book and I was like, "Oh, that's super cute. Like I really want to learn how to do that too. Like your characters are adorable. Can you teach me how to do that?" And so she taught me how to make my first character and I was like, "Oh, that's so freaking cool." So I got obsessed with making OCs. Like every day I was making new OCs. I hardly ever drew them again. In fact, they like never come up in my art anymore, even though like I revamped some of their old designs. But I just like kept going at that. So that was the first thing that I focused on. It was just something that I loved. Um, and then over time, I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to improve like facial anatomy. Let's do noses this time, or like let's do hands. Let's do this. And it's like for every art piece that I made, I just focused on one thing. Like, don't worry about too much at once. Don't overwhelm yourself with like such high expectations. Like, there will be some things that you'll struggle with, and then other things that will come to you naturally. And you just gotta, the whole thing is just learning more about yourself, learning more about what you enjoy, and taking your time with it. Because, like, it really is, like, the beauty is in the process. As much as I know that's hard, it's like it's really easy to say. But trust me, like, I've been there. And I feel that all the time when I look at my art. So, like, it's a feeling that you'll always have, no matter how far you get. Unless you, I don't know, get like crazy confident. But I feel like I've never really met an artist who's like quite reached that level of confidence. Everyone is most critical of themselves. But just like take your time with things. You don't have to rush. You really don't have to rush. And like when you slow things down a little bit, that's sometimes when you can progress the fastest, honestly. Like less is more in many cases. I'm crazy impatient. I can write. I'm trying to at least. I cannot draw. I want to make a couple comics, and I decided to at least write the story down instead of having it in my head this year. Oh, that's a great goal. But drawing is a mountain that spans the heavens. It really is. It's a whole like full-time type thing. Like and what's interesting about these things is you get out of it as much as you want to put into it, but then the big limitation is time. Time. It's always down to time and like whether you're able to prioritize it or not. But just like take it easy, take it slow, take it step by step, and like do what you want with it and use it for the like as a tool to convey what you're interested in. Like don't sweat too much about the details if if it's a hobby for you or something like a personal interest. Just start with what you like. Another thing is like you mentioned that you want to make comics. That's awesome, by the way. Stories are incredible. And like the writing alone is something that I've always struggled with. Like I have a hard time making stories, but like I'll try it if you want, but like the actual writing process and the prose that goes into it and like the problem solving that you need to have, that is also its own thing, which is also very impressive. So you're trying to combine a whole lot of things over there. Hold on, I must scroll up, make sure I didn't miss any messages. Degree in Japanese. Yeah, I've been yapping more lately. Really running my mouth. Also, not Twilight. Hey, okay, okay. Netflix trapped me in its little claws and dragged me back into its grasp. Basically, oh shit, I colored this the wrong color. Oops. Basically, I saw on Netflix, they have these little tags of like, oh, this show is an Emmy nominee, or like, oh, this show is, like, a new show that just landed on the platform, or like, oh, this show is going to be gone soon. It's like it's leaving the platform soon. And so I saw the label that like a couple movies in the Twilight series were leaving Netflix soon, and I was like, okay, well I have a subscription, so I may as well watch it, right? Because I've watched like enough clips of the Twilight movies before that I basically knew what happened, and I read the books, and I was like, God, what a strange piece of literature. But man, I'm so curious. So I went and I just binged all the movies, and I had fun. Okay. Oh, it's just because it's a great distraction, and it's just so fun to play around with that kind of stuff. Like it doesn't have to be quality. I just want to have fun with it. I like the challenge. Honestly, for some reason, that's a challenge I really enjoy tackling, and that's really impressive. Like, I have to say, writing is something that I've always struggled with. Like, I never did that well in English classes, to be so for real. I'm like a very science-minded person, so like, if you ask me to write a science report, I'll write a science report for you, no problem. But if you want me to write a well-formed essay about anything, like, hell no. Absolutely not. And like with stories as well, I end up like falling into these really like cliche trajectories. So I'm like, ah, fuck it. Ah, fuck it. Like, I can't. Like, I have like an outline for a story that I've been working on, the lore for my character as a Dreamwalker. So I have an outline for something, and I think like that took me years and years and years to actually compile, and it's still just an outline. Like, there's no way I can write it to its fullest extent. I just gotta like, I don't know. I'm gonna draw it, but I don't think I don't think I can actually turn it into a full-fledged novel because that stuff's hard. So like, really big props to you for like taking on that challenge. That stuff is tough. The author of One Punch Man is peak writing but cannot draw relative to other mangas in the space. Comics with peak storytelling will go far. Yeah, absolutely. Like, there are some people who will be like, ride or die, it's gotta have good art or whatever, whatnot. But like, for the most part, I find that sometimes the art style can be secondary if the story is like really good. So, and it's also entirely possible for you to just like collab with an artist. Like, if ultimately you want to focus on the story writing part and you want to leave the art to someone else, but like you want to have a hand in the art direction, that is also entirely viable. And like, if you have already tried art and like know a bit about it, that is even better because then it allows you to better script how certain scenes play out so that you have like a clearer vision in your head. So that's something that's like really helpful to have, like really good skill, like no matter what. That's so true. When Netflix kept spamming me with K-pop Demon Hunters, I came in and watched it. Hell yeah. It's Netflix's fault. Yes. Yes, it is. It's totally Netflix's fault, okay? We blame the corpo, okay? So my baby and I really want the art to be good. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, I totally feel that. Also, like, having something simmering in the back for the past, like, couple of years. Yeah. I really get that. It's something that's so personal to you. Because, again, like, art, as I mentioned, like, way earlier in the stream, art is a form of self-expression. And you always want to be able to express it to its, like, fullest potential. So I totally get that sentiment. Looking good, Kana. Thank you. Also, hello, and thank you for joining in on the stream. Sorry to catch you while you were on your way home. I have a feeling this is gonna take me a lot longer to render. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this tonight. I've been streaming for an hour? God damn, time flies. I've just been yapping this whole time. Also, stay hydrated, homies. I've been sipping on a guava lemonade. Shit's good. And yesterday I made myself a milk tea with boba. There's this very particular brand of boba where it's like you can cook it yourself and it only takes just like a couple of minutes to cook. And you're just like, you put the boba into the boiling pot of water and then you wait until all the little like tapioca pearls start floating. And then I like drain all the water and then add like a couple of spoons of black sugar into it and let it melt and like let it really get syrupy. And this only takes like the brown sugar part only takes just like 15 to 30 seconds. It doesn't even take that long. And you got this magnificent boba goodness. It was so good. I had it yesterday and it was genuinely amazing. I was having so much fun with it. Like Lipton, okay, not sponsored, but Lipton black iced tea, plus some honey, plus, for me, oat milk, because I'm lactose intolerant. But that's just like a insane combination. Like, I love it so much. No stress. Ooh, there's boba again. Hey, I have an addiction. Let me have my addiction in peace, okay? It's not breaking the bank, okay? And I'm not having it every single day. I swear. I swear. Yo, there's this one, like, small boba tea shop that's right along my way home from this grocery store that I always go to. And I decreed to myself that I will never step foot in there. Purely because as soon as I step foot in there, it's over for me. It's over. It's so over. Because as soon as I step foot in there, like my addiction's gonna go crazy. I'm never gonna stop going. It's gonna be so bad. So I really can't. Not every day, right? Yes, not every day. I have a matcha every day in the morning though. But that's like coffee. That's like my morning caffeine. I need that. I need that to stay alive because otherwise I'd pass away. Oh, what am I doing with the shading on this arm? I feel like it looks weird. I feel like... You know what? Okay. Let's use the lasso tool. I should really use the lasso tool more. That looked like shit. What am I doing? Okay, we'll do this like round right here. We'll cut out the forearm of the section. Ugh. Gradient's my beloved. Gradient's my beloved. I really should use like gradient shading more and like actually use lasso tool. But my god! I keep forgetting. I don't know why I keep forgetting. It's literally so helpful. Look, it's so much better already! God dang it! What's wrong with me? Genuinely, what's wrong with me? Ugh. Okay, let's see. Hi, Mimi. What's up? Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, baby. Where's that cutie? Hi. What are you doing under my desk? You banned yourself? I did ban myself. The temptations are too much. Yeah, I knew that it was just like a slippery slope that I didn't want to get myself into. So, see, I have some self-restraint. It's not a lot, but it's something. I'm trying. I'm trying really hard. I really gotta limit my sugar intake a bit more than I do. But I definitely do have a bad, like, sugar addiction. So I gotta be careful of that. Cat jump scare. Yes. Where's Mimi? Where did she go? Is she gone? What the fuck? She vanishes in an instant and is probably like across the room already. I don't know where she went. Need a lifeguard for sugar? Yeah, I mean... yeah. Like, sugar addictions are crazy. And then you get the same withdrawal symptoms. It's gnarly. That stuff's gnarly. So I gotta be really careful, especially since I have a family history of diabetes, so that's no good. I should be careful of that. Oh, thanks for following, Vandom. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Appreciate. Here, let's see if this helps at all. God, I love coloring the lines. It makes it look so much more pretty. Wow! It's so soft. Whoa, what was that, like, sparkling sound in the background? Was that part of the music? Hold on, I'm gonna rewind the music and listen to that back again. Was that something else? Was that some sort of notification that I don't know about? What the frick? Now I'll know when to invade your chats? Hell yeah. I'd be happy to see you in chat. Hi, Mimi. What's going on? Are you good, sweetheart? You're so cute. No food yet for you, though. I just fed you a couple hours ago when I got home. Yeah, baby. Yeah, sweetheart. Also, if my cat's meows sound kind of crunchy, it's not because she's screaming for help in any particular way. I swear. I think there was someone in one of my previous streams who was like, that cat sounds like she's in pain. And I'm like, I swear I swear to God, she is not. She is just loud. Makes a lot of noise. And her voice is a little bit raspy. Because, when she was found, so I adopted her from a small foster group. Um, and when they had found her, they found her in someone's backyard. The person whose backyard it was called the foster care people and were like, okay, what should we do with this cat? And they went and rescued the cat. And they found out through like microchip information that this cat used to have an owner, but due to some circumstances, I think there was some sort of like house fire involved. We're not entirely sure, but it looked like the house had like burnt down. It was a hoarding situation. And probably during that like whole thing, Mimi, the current name of my cat, she probably ran out somewhere and then got lost and like didn't know where to go. So she was found, and then they were trying to contact the previous owner to reunite her with them, of course. And there was no response at all through any of the channels of contact that they tried. So because of like the whole house fire thing and like the way that her voice sounds, she had a little bit of like health issues when she was first taken in by the foster care people. So because of all of that, I think that's why her meow sounds a bit raspy. So that's the context. That is the context, so you all know. Just to let you know. And she is loud. She is also loud. I yap a lot, and she yaps a lot, so she really does take after me. My child. My blood child, actually. Truly. I'm trying to get these muscles to, like, look okay. I hope they look okay. I don't know, I might have to... I'm probably going to render, like, this wrist part a little bit more. Damn cat lore. Yeah, even my cat has lore. I was thinking, okay, so at some point I'm gonna do a hand cam or like have a cat cam going on. I think that was one of my goals, and I need to post that up on my Twitter somewhere, but that was one of my like follower goals. I think, was it my 100 follower goal? Hi, Meadow. Hi. Thanks for joining in on the stream. Good to see you finally. Yeah, I think that was one of my goals to like unlock cat cam. And I was thinking at some point it would be super cute if I made like a little like live 2D or at least like PNG tuber model for her. So like whenever she meows, because she meows a lot, whenever she meows, it would just go like rawr, rawr. Wouldn't that be so cute? I've thought about it extensively, but I don't know how to make that work. If it's just like a simple PNG tuber, I can definitely do that, but yeah, haven't gotten around to making it. We finally got to catch you, yeah! I'm glad. Thank you, welcome to the stream. I'm having a grand old time trying to work with a color scheme that I don't normally work with, because purples are hard. Purples are very hard for me. Phantom, I don't know if you had heard me talking earlier about not being super familiar with like purple and yellow color schemes, because I always do like a, you know, the characteristic deep blue and like golden yellow color scheme that I normally do? I'm like shifting slightly away from that with this one. I don't know why I went more towards purple, but I just like did. And so I'm like I've dug myself into a pit where I'm like trying really hard to get used to this new color scheme. That's just like a slight modification from... I like the shift, honestly. Yeah. I think it fits really well for this character. And for like the nighttime vibe that's going on here. Which is like part of the reason why I chose it, but it's definitely like something new for me that I'm still getting used to. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm working on it. I think. Ooh, I like this. Oh, this part right here, everything. This part right here, that's everything. That's it. That's the whole drawing right there. Calm down. It's fresh, atmospheric, sleepy vibes from Genshin Mona to Genshin Lisa. I'm probably gonna try and add some more like Oh geez. Add some more plushies or something in the front, but I'm not entirely sure. And like some peeking through in the back, maybe. Or at least like just pillows and cushions. I was gonna do a little bit of layering. The muscle is where the magic happens. Hell yeah. That's it. You know and love it. We love our muscle mommies. What does this do? Oh shit, I totally forgot that I did this. I forgot I had this overlay. I think it's a bit strong. It's really strong, actually. Huh, okay. I think just a little bit works. A little bit of glow is good enough. Because I like this more cool tone in comparison, but I also do want the focus to be on her. I don't know, I'm probably gonna have to adjust that later. Yeah, I don't like this that much. Beautiful Arcana God tier. Ah, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I have ideas for plushies? Send me them. Yeah, DM them to me. I'll take a look, and I'll see what I can include. I know I said this already, but Bardist here looks beautiful. Oh, I also wanted to consult you. How do I pronounce it? How do I pronounce her name? Is it Bardist? Am I saying it right? I was so scared. Earlier, I was like, oh, what's this character's name again? Bargast? Bardist? So I was gonna clarify with you. But also, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad it looks good. I'm trying so hard. Jeez, Mimi is like running all over the place. I keep hearing like thumping from like when she's jumping off from things. Okay, let's shade this a little bit. Give this a bit more contrast, a bit darker. Because we love contrast in this household. More contrast. Me loves. Bargast? It was Bargast. Okay. Because I was like, Barge? Like, because of the GH? That's what was confusing me. Bargast. Okay. A baguette. Indeed, baguette. She do be baguette. Okay, I think I need a slightly darker color, unless this, like, is good enough. Is this good enough? I have no idea. I'm just rendering into oblivion at this point. I never really fully know what I'm doing when I'm rendering, I feel like. I'm just kind of throwing things in and being like, that looks good, I guess. I really wish I had, like, a much better formula for it, but it's also, like... It's just so whimsical, and I just do things along the way that I think look good. So we see. I actually like the contrasting colors, so this composition looks like a chef's kiss. Oh, great! I'm glad. I'm glad you like it. Well, especially considering you're the client. I sure hope you like it. I would be so sad if you didn't. Hi, Mimi! What's up? Oh my god, she does this thing. Okay, Mimi does this thing where she sits right behind my chair and then looks up at me and meows, and you are so cute! You're so cute! Oh, baby! Yeah, sweetheart! Oh, you can't go through that side. It's blocked by my chair. Yeah, sweetheart. This will be a regular occurrence on stream. One of these days, I think so Meru knows. Meru and Chai know. But I was playing Repo with them, and you know how it has in-game audio detection, where like some of the monsters can hear you. There have been a couple of times where Mimi has meowed and almost gotten me killed, and like so fast on the mute button, so fast, got them lightning fast reflexes. Because I was like, not only will I get myself killed, I will also get everybody around me killed. I was so scared. I was like, oh, Mimi, I love you so much, but why must you do this to me? You will be my downfall. Such a sweet baby. She has no idea what kind of havoc she has caused. Mimi the Saboteur. Oh, man. But no, I have to say, I never actually died because of Mimi at any point, so kudos to her, kudos to her. In fact, all of my deaths were... most of my deaths were just because I fell off a cliff. I just like felt like was walking backwards or like being really stupid, like didn't see and just fell into a pit. So it's really my fault. What can I say? Okay, I really want to add this pinkish color into more of these shadows. I really like this layering of different tones so that it gives it more like color diversity. It's so nice. I love adding other colors to the skin shading. It makes it look so good. I don't know why I'm using this accent. I don't even know what accent it is. I'm going insane. I'm going crazy. Spatial awareness out the window. Okay, in my defense, it's because I didn't really play the game a whole lot, so I didn't know any of these maps at all going into it. It was the first time that I played the game, like the first or second time I played the game. Because I don't play a whole lot of those co-op games, like, outside of particular friend groups, unless they, like, specifically invite me. I just don't ever find a reason to play them unless it's, like, with people that I know and I trust and I think are cool. Because I just have so much going on that I don't always have time to just allocate for it. Every so often, like, nowadays I don't really go crazy about games sometimes. Like I don't have the energy or the time to be able to play something consistently anymore. I did play like quite a decent amount of Hades. Last weekend I got so addicted to Hades. Some of you probably heard me talk about it on stream at some point. But like even then, like I played it for a little while and like now I haven't touched it in a little bit because I just have had so much stuff going on that's unrelated. That's me for real, for real. Games are just a tool to bond with friends. Yeah. Yeah, that's really how I feel about it. Like, for the longest time, I played Genshin, and I've stopped playing it quite as much anymore, mainly just because, like, I've been too busy to keep up with a lot of gacha games. Um, but yeah, like, one of the main reasons why I kept playing it was because a bunch of my really close friends in my friend group played it. And so it was just like bonding to talk about character builds and talk about new story, new updates. It was really that community aspect that brought me to it. I don't really game for just for the sake of like playing the game per se, which is perhaps something that's, I don't know like how many people feel this way, but I feel like the streaming space is filled with a lot of people who will like play a lot of stuff on their downtime, but like me on the other hand, I never did a whole lot of that. So I'm really inexperienced with gaming. Most people who are like familiar with the scene have some sort of like, I don't know how to call it, like gaming sense, where they have like much better directional awareness and then like they know what they're doing. The puzzles are a little bit easier for them to solve because they've like seen those kinds of game mechanics before, and I don't have that. I struggle so bad. Because I didn't grow up with that kind of stuff. My brother was more into it, but I myself was not quite so much. I was more of like an arts person, doing drawings and stuff, like with my spare time. Hades is so peak. It is so peak. It is really good. It is so good. And I also really appreciate how you can like pick it up and then put it down whenever you want. You can just like play one round and then like go do something else. So it's not too distracting, but it's also like very fun and engaging at the same time. I've gotten up to the third boss, but I haven't been able to beat the third boss yet. That pesky Theseus. I always die to Theseus. I always kill the bull, but can't get to Theseus. Ugh. Games for me are for flexing and getting salty. Okay, play Dark Souls, you will develop spatial awareness or crash out trying. I would crash out trying. I am actually really scared because, like, a part of me is trying to be careful with what games I play on stream, like, particularly because I don't want to get so hard stuck on something that I either have to, like, just look up a tutorial or have people, like, completely walk me through it, or just, like, get so stuck that we can't progress for hours. Because, like, I need a lot of guidance and I need a lot of support. I'm generally not good at games. So it's like a little discouraging, and I like also don't want to be banging my head into a wall over and over again while people are watching me live, because that's at a certain point, like sometimes it's funny, but then at a certain point it just gets frustrating for everybody involved, I feel like, because everybody's like, no, you gotta do this, you gotta go here, and I'm like, but where? And it's just this back and forth of like panic, and it becomes a lot, and for me it's a bit much to handle. I feel like that's just not the kind of gameplay that I'd want to end up having. It would be a bit too much. So yeah, I'm trying to focus on some more of like the, what's it called, like shorter games that are very story driven, or stuff that I've seen before, or things like, I don't know, maybe I'll play Nikkei at some point, but like, I don't know, gacha games are also pretty good for stream, because it's very like, you can't really go too wrong with like a gacha game on stream. Usually you're not going to get hard stuck on something like crazy, and it's very like, you follow the storyline and it's a clear progression of where to go, that kind of thing. And people are always there for the gambling, let's be real. Always for the gambling. I'm shackled to MMO style progression in games. You haven't escaped yet. To complete the whole story, you have to reach the end like 10 times. Seriously? Yeah, I haven't escaped yet. Yeah, I'm trying. I tried. But I put in like, I don't know, almost 15 hours into the game within the span of just a couple of days. It was actually really bad. It was so bad. But it was so good. It's such a good game. I wish I had more time for it. Oh. To hell with it! To hell with it! We always need more time. I've got over 3,000 hours in Dark Souls. I only need you up a half dozen times. Oh, man. It would be fun, though, if it were just, like, one very experienced person trying to guide me through everything. I think that would be fun if it was just that like, dynamic of... If the focus was on that dynamic. Because if the focus was just on, like, me getting through the game by myself, I think I'd lose my mind. I think I'd crash out and end stream. Because I'm just trying to chill out after work, y'all. Life's too busy for this. I just want to have fun. So yeah, I feel like a lot of my streams are gonna be like just hanging out, having a good time, trying to ignore the state of affairs in the current world, and like take it easy, because my god, shit's tough. Shit's rough. I love Sekiro Mortal Journey for real, for real. My man, you see the Sekiro anime getting announced too? There's a Sekiro anime? Sekiro, like, I've seen little bits and pieces of it, and it looks so gorgeous. I feel like instead of playing any of, like, the Dark Souls series, I would just want to play Sekiro, because it's kind of, like, close in style, and I don't know, something about the style of Sekiro just really draws me into it. I don't know if I'm just crazy for that, if that's just my first impression, is all I'm saying. What am I doing with this part of the hair? I don't know, but I'll figure it out, I guess. Woohoo! It just got announced. Gamescom announced it yesterday. Ooh. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is more of a tension rhythm game than Dark Souls. Maybe that would be better for me. Maybe? I don't know, I'm like so hesitant to play anything that's like super skill heavy, because I don't have a lot of that like prerequisite gaming skill that's usually needed for these kinds of games. Especially when it's the case of like, oh, you kind of have to like go and figure things out yourself. Because the first game that I played, on PCs specifically. I'm not talking about like Nintendo games on like the DS or whatever. The first game that I played on PC was this game called One Shot, which I would absolutely love to play again. It's so good. The style of like just the way it visually looks and the way like the gameplay is formatted, that sort of like kind of top down pixel art style is akin to Undertale. I hate comparing things, but it's like, just to give you a rough idea for those of you who haven't heard of this game, it's similar to that, but it's got this really cute story where you're following this character who got like isekai to this one world, and she or he, I don't remember, is tasked with like bringing the sun back to the world in order to save the world. And it's like the existential crisis that I had towards the end of this game, like it went crazy. You like the atmosphere? No, it's still Dark Souls though, with all the goofy Dark Souls tropes. I need to play a bunch of these indie games. Live services got me shackled. Yeah, dude, live services will really just like take your brain and like in its claw grip and just keep you there for a long time. I mean, that's really what happened to me with Genshin for a hot minute. So I feel ya. I feel you. But I've been trying to like focus more on these like very clear beginning and end type stories where it's like I don't have to follow continuous updates, or if there are updates, it's like, oh, it's the next chapter in the story type thing, and it's like not. It doesn't have like it doesn't have too much of the like. I don't want to say diversity of gameplay, but as in like, its purpose is a bit more simple. Like you're following this particular story. And I just prefer things that are a bit more, like, okay, you have a clear end to it. Once you're done, then you're done. There's not, like, a whole lot of, oh, you go back and you do this, and then you play all these quests, and you continue to build your character, and you continue to do all of these, are, like, other, like, end game stuff. Because, like, that gets really overwhelming over time, and I just want to enjoy a story from beginning to end and cry about it. And cry about the angst that is put into every game that makes me so happy and so sad at the same time. Because, oh man. Oh man, oh man. Undertale really had me cry, like, tearing up at the pacifist ending. It's just so, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. It's so lovely. I cry very easily, by the way. For those of you who don't know, I cry very easily. So, just fair warning. If I'm playing stuff in the future, I will cry. Most likely. I'm just a lover, not a fighter. Bastion is a classic indie game with a killer soundtrack. I feel like I've heard this somewhere. I don't remember exactly, though. Also, it is getting really dark in my room. Holy shit. The sun's going down. Oh, now that I've turned on the light next to me, I have a lamp on my desk and it's like orange tinted, which is the way that I like it. And now because of the orange tint, now the colors on my screen look slightly different. Shit! Damn it! Ah! It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's okay. I'll live, it's fine. We'll be fine. Everything overall looks okay. It astounds me, actually, how different things can look on different monitors and different screens. Like, the way that my phone makes the saturation go wild. So, like, every time I'm done with a piece, I'll send it, or an art piece, I'll send it to my phone through Discord. And then I'll look at it on my phone, partly to check, and also partly to, like, look at it and like check it out while I'm at work, like just like, give it a few good lookovers to just observe any mistakes or anything that I've made, make sure I'm not missing any details, and then also it makes it a lot easier to post it the next day if I'm like just on mobile, because obviously I can't like bring my whole ass PC to work with me. I gotta post from my phone. And like every time I do this, I'm like, oh geez, the saturation is different. The blue looks different. And like, I thought this color was gonna turn out this particular way, but it's actually that particular way. And now I don't really like that. But like, I'm also too lazy to go back and fix it. Oh, it's a constant struggle. And like, at the same time, so when I was first like looking at the monitors that I currently have, and I was like trying to figure out which ones to purchase, a lot of people in my life were telling me like, oh well, you kind of want to look at the color accuracy if you're an artist and you want to like make sure that the colors are good. And then I was like, yes, but are my viewers, like, are the people who look at my art gonna have the same color accuracy? So would it even matter? Like, if I'm making stuff that's purely for printing purposes and I want it to look exactly like how it looks in real life when I get it printed, I feel like that's a slightly different story, perhaps, so that you have like a better baseline to work off of. But most of my stuff is very digital, and I haven't uploaded stuff to my I haven't updated my InPrint account in like ages. So I have not really been selling any sort of prints or physical copies of my art. So as a result of that, I'm like, okay, well, if someone else is going to be looking at my art with like a similar screen resolution as mine, what's the point? What would be the point of getting something like crazy color accurate for more money if it's gonna sort of get lost along the way anyway? And like, I don't really mind too much to a certain extent if the colors are like slightly different. And that's just how it works, where like my phone is just naturally gonna look a bit different. The lamp is interfering. It is. Phone tech is real. Yeah, it's interesting. What kind of displays do you have between like IPS, OLED, VA, etc.? I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't know what display I have, and I don't remember how to check. I just bought it and I started using it. And also, so I have two monitors right now. Thank goodness I have two monitors. One of them was gifted to me, and the other one is one I bought. I don't remember what I bought. And I also have no details about what I was gifted, because I was like, they were like, oh, we have this random monitor that would otherwise go into the trash because like it's not really needed in the space that it's in. Do you want to use it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like if it's otherwise just sort of gonna like, get thrown out by this place, like I'd be happy to take it off your hands. And so they brought it over, and I was like, cool. And then I installed it, and I've been using it. And that's about it. So I noticed like my left-hand monitor is a bit lower resolution than my right-hand monitor. Even though my left-hand monitor is my main monitor, and like my drawing tablet will only connect to monitor 1. And the monitor 2 has a higher resolution, which is interesting, and I've been using it to put all my like stream setup on there. So my OBS is to this side, and my main monitor is like right in front of me with my drawing tablet in the same like line of sight. I don't know, like it's been interesting using them for different purposes. Also the color like configurations are slightly different, and I tried to like get them to match nicely, but it's really hard to find something like a setting that is truly the same. Which is fine, like I don't mind it so much. It's really interesting like watching a video on one monitor and then switching it to the other monitor and being like, oh, actually those colors were all different. Because like my left-hand monitor is just like a cheap, like less than $100 monitor that I found that I was like, oh, it's good enough for my purposes, I guess. And then the right-hand one is like, I think it's like not really for personal use. It was for like some sort of establishment. If you can find the model number of your displays, you can input that into Google and find out the details. Yeah, I'm sure I could. I could definitely I could definitely go back through my Amazon purchases and find where I got this monitor. But I'm lazy. Because at a certain point, like, I don't care that much. But if people want to know, I can go and find it at some point. I would just have to go and dig for it a little bit. Also, stay hydrated, homies. I'm still chugging on this, Guava lemonade. It is so good. This guava lemonade is actually amazing. Really good purchase. I got like one of those big bottles of juice basically for the guava lemonade from the supermarket, and then I brought it home and I've been like diluting it a little bit with ice because it's always super sweet. And it's amazing. Okay, I've done some rendering work on here. I think I want to add... trying to think. Also, Phantom, if you have ideas for plushies for this, please, by all means, send them my way. I was hoping I could finish this drawing by the end of the stream today, so I can just sort of knock it out and then like move on to other works as well. Particularly because I want to work on Chai's model that I started and then like haven't had time to make progress on. But at the same time, I don't know how much bandwidth I'll have to be able to finish this drawing today, because there are a lot more moving parts in this one than I normally do in my drawings, I think. I've been really trying to add more details to my art and make it a bit more special. I feel like I get lazy really easily, and I'll be like, oh, this is good enough. Let's just not bother with adding XYZ. And I just don't put in that extra effort to just get it done. And like in some cases, if I'm just trying to like hash out a quick drawing, that's fine. But in most cases, I'm like realizing the reward that I get from taking that extra time for the work is so significant to how I like how good I feel about it afterwards. Like I've been much happier with my more I guess like detailed artworks lately. Like there was that one drawing that I made for another VTuber named August Anomaly, who is, by the way, awesome VTuber, has a decent following. And she also works in science, very similar to me, in like a similar field, I think. And she commissioned me like last year to work on something for her when she was debuting her live 2D model and upgrading from her PNG tuber, which, by the way, her live 2D model is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. And so she commissioned me, and then I finished the commission and everything, but this past little while, like before I debuted, I made some art for her just to sort of revisit it and like kind of redraw the pose and like a better... Just like use all of the knowledge that I've gained over the course of the past year to make it look better. And I'm so much happier with how that ended up turning out. It looks... I'm really happy with how that drawing turned out, to be so honest. Oh, also, I guess for those of you who didn't see, it's up on my Instagram, and I also posted it to Twitter. I think I posted it to Twitter first, and that's where August also posted it to her account because I gave it to her with like full commercial rights. And I gotta go have fun with the rest of the stream. Thank you for joining in. It's good chatting with you. Always good catching up with you. So August Anomaly, she posted it to her account because I gave the artwork to her as like a gift for her birthday, which was early in August. And yeah, so it's hers to use as she sees fit. But yeah, I have it on my Twitter somewhere. Hold on, I'm trying to like find it and pull it up. Where the frick did I put it? Okay, here it is. Here it is. Look at this shit. Look at it. I'm so happy with how this turned out. And it's interesting because I also rarely work with greens of this sort of color and tone, like this neon, like glowing scientific green. But it turned out so much better than I thought it would. All of the details, like... I mean, it's partly just because I work with this kinds of stuff, like, every single day, so I know exactly how these test tubes should look. I'm, like, very intimately familiar with how beakers and everything are shaped and all the little intricacies of that, because I work with them all the time. So, like, that made making the background a lot easier. But I'm really happy with how this drawing came out. It's just the composition, the shading, the lighting, the rendering turned out a lot better than I had initially expected. Honestly, Kana, I'd be fine if you used a bunch of dog plushies. It's kind of... Wait, that's so cute! That'd be so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll do that. I'll just put a crap ton of little dog plushies. Honestly, that was a stellar piece. Thank you. I am really happy with how it turned out. I have to say. I feel like I keep trying to live up to that drawing and like all the subsequent drawings I've made, or I am making, I should say. Because I want to put that level of attention to detail into everything. But like that particular drawing is just so special because I work in the kind of in like a similar environment that August works in. She works in a lab setting, and she bases a lot of her like stream themes off of that. And I also work in a lab setting. And so I'm like, oh, I know what a micropipette looks like. I know exactly how to hold it. So drawing that kind of thing makes it just a lot easier to have attention to detail in that sense. But then like with a lot of my other drawings, I'm like, well, I don't really know what exactly I want to add to this. I have a lot less ideas. So I'm trying to work on that, get better at that. Because if I can get better at it, that would be great. Overall improve my art style, improve the details. Because otherwise my art can get really flat and boring. If it's just like a portrait, I'm like, okay, well, it's a portrait. It does its job, but it's like not particularly interesting. So I want to branch myself away from that and put a lot more personality into my drawings. Because like the whole point is to like convey the character in a context, and the context in this case is sleepy vibes. Sleepy chill vibes. Let's see how I want to do the rendering of this little piece over here. Let's see. Kind of want to have the light on this side. Kind of, I think, right? It's a little, like, wonky looking. You keep raising the bar with bangers. Thank you! Thank you! I keep trying really hard. I'm working really hard on it. Oh my god, this is such a derpy sounding song. Oh, it's so good. Also, shout out to Stream Cafe for providing music. They make DMCA free music for streamers, and I have relied on their channel for ages. I always go to their channel for everything. I also added some Lily Pichu to this playlist, knowing that she allows streamers to use her music as well. So credit to the both of them. Massive credit to the both of them. Otherwise, these streams would be much like more depressing. Alright, I think that looks good. I think that looks good. I want to make the hair on this other side way darker, though. I also gotta render this collar. Oh, this didn't turn out to be as dark of a purple as I thought it was gonna be. Also, all of this needs to be part of the pillow, not part of the actual hair strands. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing! Okay, let's do this. Let's open up this little pocket right here. Open up this little pocket. Oh, that looks much better. Now it doesn't just look like a blob, it actually looks like hair. Funny how that works. The color was a nice touch. Yeah, I mean, I was just like looking at the references that you had provided me ages ago. I scrolled all the way back to get to them. And I was like, oh, yeah, these are super cute. Because I really want to incorporate her design elements so it's not just like I change her whole outfit and then just make her some like random blonde muscle mommy chick. Like, it's gotta like actually be recognizable as her. So I tried. We tried real hard in this department. I forgot I sent half of those. Yeah, you sent me some pretty interesting references of her, Phantom. Do you remember? Some of them were kind of interesting. Like, uh, I was scrolling back through them and I was like, oh, interesting. This is not what I remember. Oh, shoot. Okay, part of the curtains. I should probably, yeah, turn these off so that... I was like, why is my color picking not working properly? And that's because it actually wasn't picking the right color. I didn't realize, or I totally forgot that I had another layer over it that was adjusting the colors. Happens all the time. Bane of my existence. My god. Sorry, that's why you're doing the arts. Interesting, yes. Yes, interesting. Interesting, interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, let's see. I love carving out these wrinkles. It's so head empty and ooh, shapes go burr. So it's very, I just go with the flow. Oh, sorry, that was a burp. Oh. Pardon me. Excuse me. I gotta clean up this part of the pillow. And then I also want to add a like darker shading over here so that it'll like frame her silhouette a little more nicely. Honestly, the smaller details like that go a long way. I'm glad. I've been trying to learn how to better balance the details, because like on one hand, details are great, and the more detail you add, the more believable it can be. But at the same time, it's a very careful balance of where exactly you put those details. Because if you don't put them in the right spot, or if you add too many details that distract from the main focus, then that's exactly what you're doing. You're distracting from the main focus, and you lose the purpose of the drawing. So like, where's the boundary between adding enough detail so that things are coherent and you have a lot of context and a lot of personality in this drawing, but also not adding too much detail so that you lose the main purpose? That's something that I've grappled with for a while, and I'm like slowly starting to figure it out and figure out how exactly I want to do it. And I'm like really learning how to wield the tool that is composition a lot better. So that it won't clutter, and like it's all in the balancing of shapes and balancing of colors, because that's really what art is, just shapes but like glorified. Like everything is in the shapes, lighting is in the shapes, and like composition is in the shapes, perspective is in the shapes, all of it is about shapes. And when you think about it, like lines are not just lines, they are what defines, or like they are a tool rather to define shapes. And like I like using more clear line art, but then you get like, I don't know, Renaissance painters that like don't have clear line art and they just like go for it and paint and render. But like you get lines where shadow meets light, right? And that's how you define shapes, and that's where lines come from, and that's so cool. When I first heard of that concept, that the boundary between darkness and light is what makes lines, like that blew my mind, because it changed my entire perspective of how how light works and how perception of our surroundings works, like visually. And I was like, wow, that's so cool, because if everything is dark in the room around you, you're not going to see anything no matter what. But then when there's a bit of light, then you start to see the silhouettes of objects, and you start to see like different things reflecting off of different planes of surfaces. It's so cool. It's so cool. I love art. It makes you observe the world around you to such a greater degree. And that's just awesome. I've had so much more fun in life, I would say, as an artist, because I would look at something and I wouldn't just see the object, but I'd be like, oh, well, look at the way that that thing arcs over there so that it creates this line that draws your eye to this other structure. And then that other structure is like the main defining feature of this thing that was built. And then when you see all of that like intention and even like the unintentional, like accidental things that are beautiful and pretty, like it's just so inspiring. And it fills me with determination. It's just so fun. It's so nice to view the world in that lens. Instead of just sort of like being like, ooh, dreary day in, day out. You just sort of like trek to and from work and you go about your life. You wield a mighty weapon, the pen and shapes. Yes. I don't know, for me, like, art is a lifestyle. Like, for me, art is a lifestyle. Piano is a lifestyle. Science, like what I study, is a lifestyle. All of this is just, like, I incorporate it into the way that I perceive things around me so much. Like, I don't know if I'm just going too gung-ho and too crazy about it, if I'm, like, a bit too intense, but I find that it's just, like, a fun, more, like, meaningful way to interact with my surroundings. It's not just muscles. It's, like, proportions and its dimensions, and then you get to observe the shape of them and be like, oh, that's a really nice shape. Except you also don't want to be creepy and stare at someone for too long. But you know. Trying to get the shading of this pillow right. Trying to figure out how dark exactly I want to make the bottom part of the Stairmaster. Dude, the Stairmaster, like the exercise machine Stairmaster. That thing scares me. It scares me so much. Also, like, okay, there's a certain set of stairs that I take very often, and there's like no airflow in it. And it just is like suffocating every time I'm in there. Ugh. Let's see. Ooh, I like this. I like this right here. I like that. I like that shape. Yeah. The world stairs are crazy. Or scary. Yes. I think... I don't know. I mean, stairs are such a great method of transportation. Up and down. But also, whoever the frick invented them, don't speak to me. Don't ever speak to me. Especially that particular staircase that doesn't have airflow in it. Don't speak to me. Whoever built that, never again. Don't do it ever again. Cause it gets so hot and muggy, the air doesn't move, and then I'm like so out of breath by the time I get to the top, and I'm like, oh, just kill me. Oh. It's so exhausting. I was always scared as a kid of what could be under the stairs. Under the stairs? Well, it's just more stairs. In a stairwell, it's just more stairs. Or it's like, I don't know, pipes and like electricity. But I get that. As a kid, yeah. I don't know, I had this bad habit when I was a kid of falling downstairs to the point where like I was falling down I was falling downstairs with enough frequency because I was a bit careless and I would run down the stairs. I was falling down with enough force and frequency that my mom was like, that's it, we're going to install a carpet on all of our stairs, except for the one that leads down to the basement. But like, we're gonna install a carpet on all of the stairs because otherwise one of these days you are gonna get really hurt and you need to stop. Oh my god, it was so bad. I don't know how it got to that point. And like thinking back on it now, I was like, I was such a stupid child. What is wrong with me? Like, I genuinely fell down so frequently that it was not safe for me. I'm just casually eating herself down the stairs. No, really. And like every time it would happen, I would just start like bursting out crying because I was like, oh my god, it hurts. And my mom was like, you're a dumbass. And I'm like, that's not what I want to hear. I'm in pain. Oh, that was so funny though. Like in hindsight, that's so funny. Obviously, like in the moment, it hurt, but in the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't that bad. I'm just glad I didn't like break anything going down those stairs. But yeah, that's a really random piece of Kana childhood lore that I myself also kind of forgot about. It's been so long since that happened. Especially like after I have to say, like my mom was right. After she got the carpet on the stairs installed, I stopped falling quite so frequently. I don't remember if I fell maybe like once or twice after that, but like definitely it improved significantly. And also, the carpet was really comfy too. It was nice. 'Twas nice. 'Twas very nice. My mom also had this habit of, like, in order to make me and my brother exercise more, she would have us run laps in the house, like up and down the stairs and like through all the rooms. And she had this whole like route planned out for us. And we were like, Mother, why would you forsake us like this? And she was like, but you need to exercise. And I'm like, shouldn't we be going outside? And she's like, no, but outside is dangerous. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? We live in a safe neighborhood. My parents had a similar approach, but just sort of gave up after 20 attempts. They figured I developed a tolerance for heights. Aww. Aww. Parenting. Parenting. Always a beautiful thing. Yeah, I was interesting as a child. I was very interesting. I feel like I have a very good capacity for entertaining myself. So like my parents were like, "Oh yeah, you weren't too bad to raise." Like cuz for the most part, if I was left alone in a room, I could find something fun to do and like laugh my ass off doing something stupid. Like I think one time, like, I couldn't fall asleep, and this was when I was, like, barely a toddler. I couldn't fall asleep. Also, like, this is not a memory of mine. This is just something my parents told me after the fact. But I was like, apparently I was really bored and I couldn't fall asleep. So I just went ahead and, like, started playing in my crib or whatever, and I was just like having a grand old time. My mom came and checked on me to make sure I was okay and I was sleeping properly. I wasn't sleeping, but I was playing, but I was playing very quietly. Just totally like in the zone doing my own thing. And I feel like I definitely took aspects of that, like that I still do something like that, where it's if I have any downtime or free time to do anything, I will inevitably fill that time with stuff to do. Like, I could be spending this time binging YouTube and just like doodling and like not doing a whole lot, but I just love filling my time with stuff that I think is fun and fulfilling in like a very particular sort of like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess particular is the right word. In a very particular way. And so that's why I'm doing stuff like this. Where it's like all of this is like a lot of extra work, it's a lot of preparation. I did a lot of prep work to like debut and make my model, but it's all just so much fun. And then I also want to do like med stuff on the side, and I'm also doing piano, and then I go out and exercise and I skate outside and like I do, so I just try and keep like filling my time with so much stuff. And it's kind of a a lot of people tell me like, oh, that's amazing, like you're always trying to do more, and that's like really ambitious, but at the same time it's exhausting. Because like it makes it so easy for me to burn myself out in your own little world. Yeah. Precisely. Like I can really just like I think I feel like that's one of my strong suits, where if I put my heart to it, put my mind into it, I can do a lot with my time. But I also am like really sensitive in a way where like if I'm not careful, I'll burn myself out super quickly and I'll get exhausted. And when I get exhausted, I get really complacent and like fall down a rabbit hole again. So it's like this cycle of like being ambitious, burning myself out, and then like being really tired and just like potatoing, and then feeling like garbage about myself, feeling like I gotta do more. And then like pulling myself back into like a ton of really ambitious projects and events and things like that. And just repeating the cycle over and over again. All about pacing, moderation, yeah. That really should be how it works, but like I am just the type of personality that just loves to like go, go, go when I have something I'm interested in. So I don't know, it's been interesting sort of observing that about myself. But also like, I mean, fun endeavor. Like I pick up a lot of interesting things along the way, and the skills that I learned too. I have to say, like I actually sent you a few references for the doggos. Actual doggos will be better than plushies. Okay, sounds good. Oh, they're cute. Oh, the golden retriever vibes are very fitting. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, I'll draw those. I'll do those. Thank you for the references. They're from the source material trust. Okay, okay, sure, sure. That is very cute. That is very cute. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to it today, though. It's already getting so dark out. It's already 8 o'clock? It's been 2 hours? Holy crap. I spent so much time on this drawing. But I'm also having so much fun. I'm having so much fun yapping with everybody. I'm just like chilling, hanging out, having good vibes. I really missed being able to do stuff like this. Like, there have been so many times where I like come home in the evening and I'm like, I really wish I could just boot up stream and then just like talk and hang out with people, have a little bit of a community get together, and then just draw. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do while I'm drawing, to just chat with people. So I feel like I'm gonna end up doing this a lot more frequently. And also doing like a lot of impromptu streams that aren't gonna be on my like slotted time schedule, I feel like. Because if I just have something that I want to work on, I can just boot up stream and then just like chat while I draw. The only limiting factor is like at some point I'm gonna have to get myself dinner. Which thankfully I cooked a decent amount of dumplings yesterday, so I have plenty of leftovers to eat. So maybe soon I might like grab something quick to eat, and I'll come back. I'll just like put stream on pause for like a couple of minutes just to heat that up and eat. You'll just have to put up with eating ASMR noises. That's all. As long as you guys are okay with that, but I'll try to keep noise to a minimum. Art and chill. Yeah. That's like precisely it. I don't know, art is such a comfortable thing for me. I also really love like having spaces where ASMR. I also love having spaces where I don't always have to, I don't know, how do I describe this? I can just like focus on my art and like be in a community a bit more passively too. Like I love spaces like that as well. Partially just because like sometimes when I get really into the zone with art, I just kind of like laser focus in, and I just love having some sort of like background of chatter. It just makes me feel more at home. That background, I guess. And then like every so often I'll like pitch in to the conversation about like what I think about something. I've always loved that vibe as well. What am I doing with this strand of hair? I don't entirely know, but I'm doing something, and something is happening for sure. I'm not gonna worry too much about keeping the lines super clear, because when you zoom out, you're not gonna see like 90% of it. I'm trying not to be too much of a perfectionist anymore, because I also realized that being too laser focused in on the details is actually also detrimental to me. And when I zoom out and just let the imperfections be, it actually adds a lot of texture and personality to my art style. That was something that was like hard for me to come to terms with. Because I was like, no, but like I want everything to be like really crisp, really clear, and like have everything be neat and perfect. And then I realized like, okay, that works for some people's art styles. But for me, I was losing a lot of time and not like gaining very much from like hyper focusing on that. And the brushes that I'm using as well are more, and like I love these brushes to death. I love them to bits. Like I have all of these like backed up onto a hard drive somewhere because like I love this setup so much. But like for someone who does like, I don't know, really clean looking, like shiny looking art, like that kind of art style, it benefits a lot from having super clean, like perfect lines. But for me, like a lot of my textures, like the brush that I literally use for my lines is like textured like a dry marker almost. So like what even is the point of like trying to make everything like super neat and perfect? It just makes it look really sterile and then like too, what's it called? How do I describe it? Uh, Sterile's not a great word, I should say. It makes it too uniform. That's the word. So when it's too uniform, then it's like, okay, well, everything's kind of blending together, and then you don't have like a good focus. You don't get a lot of those textures that you want to see in certain things. Because nothing is really uniform when we look at it. Mostly. There's always some sort of imperfection. Vibes are nice, makes sense. Yeah. I kind of want to do a little bit of like shine on this gold. A little sparkle. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're going somewhere. Oh, yeah, that's cute. Oh, that's cute as fuck. Hell yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay. And then I want to add a little bit of shading to this side as well. Ooh, I need to make like a stream paused screen at some point, I feel like. I feel like I have so much to work on when it comes to my stream. There's so many assets that I need to make. So much to do always. But also like I'm trying to like take it slow and like allow myself to build it bit by bit. Like I don't have to have all of this ready right away, but I feel like I always feel this pressure though to like have these things ready. Like I was worried that I needed to have them ready for debut, but that's really not the case. Like I can just start. I can just start streaming and then do what I want for a little bit. I don't know, trying to fit into all of these expectations of like what I feel like things should be. It really is a trap that's easy to slip and fall into. And like I keep trying to pull myself away from that mindset because it gets so frustrating. And I'm like, oh, well, I have to get this done, right? And it's like, no. What will happen if I don't get it done? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot, honestly. This isn't school where you're gonna get a bad grade. And this isn't work where you're gonna get like penalized. I'm just having fun. So I'm like trying to put less pressure on myself to like do all of these things with the idea that like, oh, it must be this way because everyone else is doing this, so it must be this way. But it's like, no, no, that's not the case. It's more like a guideline than like a strict thing. I think I'll do slightly darker shading here. Yeah. And then I'll do like a little bit of the wrist so that it's a bit less uniform. Yes, yes, it's coming together. I think it's coming together. Ooh. I feel like also, like, I'm really treating this art stream as like a just chatting stream, but with like art in the background. This is giving me the vibe of those, what is it? Those like Instagram reels, or just like, I don't know, any short form content that has like some story with like subway surfers just like playing on the screen, or like someone doing parkour in Minecraft. I feel like that's what I'm doing, except it's art and I'm just yapping about like random shit. I feel like that's how I'm approaching this art stream. I gotta get better at doing shadows. I always forget to add shadows to the hair. Like underneath the hair, wherever it rests. Like, usually I remember, but every so often I'll forget and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me, actually? It's such like a pivotal part of this piece. I also need to get better at like, making shadows a little bit more interesting. Because like, that sure is a shadow, but it's really boring looking. So, I don't know. We'll see. This muscle is so well defined. God damn. Maybe I should lighten it a little bit, not make it so pronounced, because this is really soft lighting. It is vital. Truly vital. I also want to fix this part right here. The booty, because I wanted to like cover up this part. Because it just looks more comfortable if this part is covered. But also, just the texture of it doesn't look quite right. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I feel like I'm gonna make it kind of like translucent looking. But I don't know. Make it, what if I made it a fishnet? A random fishnet shorts out of nowhere. Doesn't fit her style at all. That would be really funny though. Let's just blend this all together. Just give it something to work with. Make it exist, and then make it pretty later. I don't know, I feel like I don't really like this part of it. But I also wanted to keep it comfy and cozy. I don't want it to be like overly symmetrical in any particular way. Even though like she has a very curvy figure, but like I don't know, I'm always more comfortable when I'm wearing shorts. I've like tried going to bed with like just tank top and underwear and I just can't. I don't know why, I just don't feel super comfortable with it. I feel safe with shorts. Maybe that's just a me preference. I think I'll just blend this together a little bit more. And then like, I don't know, make this line a bit less pronounced. It doesn't okay. I think what's going on is it doesn't really look like skin anymore because of the way that it's colored. I think it's just not bright enough. Because I didn't add, what's it called? Yeah, I didn't add like any of this to it. So it just looks really... Yeah, okay, I see what I need to do. I was like, why does this keep looking so weird? And it's because I never colored it leg colored. I just colored it background colored. Because when I was working on this, I was really focusing on the, what's it called? The shape of the shadows on the leg. Oh, shoot. I should have made this on a different layer. Damn it. Ah, I thought I did. Oh, I did. I just made this part. Okay. It's fine. Everything is fine. I am okay. I'm not freaking out. I'm not panicking. I swear. She has leg-colored legs? I think so. You know, I think she has leg-colored legs. I'd like to believe that she does. And so in that case, I'm going to, in fact, color her legs leg-colored. Which I totally forgot to do before. I was like, why does this look so weird? And I'm like, oh, because it doesn't even look like skin. It just looks like background. What the hell am I doing? Because again, I was so focused on the shape of the lighting that I just totally forgot. I was so focused on like the facial features and everything. Okay, now it's leg covered. And then the other leg is like underneath the blanket. Crazy idea. Very, very crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. End stream right away. That's it. It's over. Okay, now we can do the shading without it looking really fucking weird. And I do also want to add like a slight gradient so that it's like, so that your eyes are like more drawn to this part of the drawing. To be fair, her facial expression looks wonderful. I'm glad! I spent a lot of time trying to tweak that to make it look a lot better. I've also gotten a lot better at drawing faces overall. I think. Methinks. My little brain thinks. Sometimes. Sometimes I think. Only sometimes. I was having a lot of trouble thinking at work today. But it's okay. We have tomorrow. And the day after. We don't have to think every day. Right? Right? Okay, yeah, this is looking much better. I'll just have to make the leg muscles more defined as well. Which I totally forgot about. Yeah, right. Alright, stay hydrated, homies. Take another sip of my drink. Stay hydrated. Oh, Mimi is over there all curled up, looking cute. Also, in the future, I really need to get into the habit of turning on all of my lamps before I start stream, because this has happened a couple of times now where I've started stream and I get like a couple of hours in and then the sun sets and then I'm like, oh no, I can't see anything, but I can still see my computer screen. And so I just sit here. I sit here until I get so fed up with the darkness that I finally go get up and turn on all the lights. But I'm sitting here in darkness right now. I have one lamp on next to me. I really look like a gremlin. Let's just shut myself in. Oh my lord. Lord help me. Okay, let's see. Get a little bit of shading over there. I feel like the hair is not fully rendered, and at the same time I feel like it is fully rendered, and I really can't make up my mind. Living in a world of darkness? Isn't that song lyrics for something? That sounds so familiar. That sounds so familiar. Like a fiend in the night. Oh, this has to be song lyrics. I don't remember this reference though. I'm really bad with references overall. I had no childhood. I'm not. There's so many things I don't remember. Hi, Mimi, what's going on? That was the most pitiful meow you could have meowed. Are you good, girl? Oh, she's like stretched out on the ground. What a cutie. Look at her little paws. Also, I'm breaking my model trying to turn around and look at her. Whenever my model breaks, I'm like, oh god, like, I should be careful not to break my model, but also I'm like, well, I just need to get better at rigging so I can code all the, or like, set all the parameters so that it doesn't look it's quite so weird. But I'm bad at rigging! I think one of my goals is to actually, one of my follower, or like one of my sub goals for like way in the future, once I like actually can earn enough money from streaming, if that ever happens, which is fine if it doesn't, but like if it ever happens, I want to get my model re-rigged by someone who's an actual professional. Someone who actually like does it for a living and knows how to do it properly, because I just BS'd my way through it with some YouTube tutorials and with the 40-day free trial. And I think that my rigging looks like ass. It works, but it just looks meh. Professional. Because like I'll make the art for it, no problem, but I can't I can't do the rigging, I swear. Like, if I really have to, I'll do the rigging. But, oh my god, if I had streamed me trying to rig, it was a train wreck. I was in a voice call with Chai, and I think there were times when I was in a voice call with other people as well. And I was, like, really tearing my hair out, because it is hard. It is so hard. And, like, if I really put time into this, I'm sure I could, like, get a bit better at it. And then I go onto Twitter, and then I see all these riggers that I follow, and they have these, like, beautiful, beautiful rigs with, like, the most incredible looking physics. And, like, they're so creative about the way that they've animated fire and flames that, like, flicker as their idle animation. And I just look at that and I'm like, oh, I could never do that. So it's just, some people are incredible. Some people do so good with that stuff, and I just can't. Me. What time is it? Oh my god. Oh, it's 8:17. Okay, that's probably why she's meowing. She wants food. It's not time for food yet, but she wants food. Mimi does this thing where, like, pretty regularly, as soon as, like, 8 o'clock hits, it's fair game. It's fair game for her. She'll start meowing, she'll start pawing at me, she'll be like, but where's my food? And I'll be like, no, not yet, sweetheart. Not yet. And she's like, but I'm starving. And I'm like, I just fed you. Like, 3 hours ago. You still have food sitting in your bowl, in fact. But she's like, no, I must have more. And I'm like, your greed sickens me. Creature that resides in my apartment and whom I love dearly. You sicken me. Creature that I tracked and, like, took to the vet while I was also sick because I love you, you stinky little creature. There's a lot of talented rigging artists out there. Shy Lily's rig person is amazing. Same goes to Gura's new model. Also Mimi. Also Mimi. Yeah, I've seen VTubers like Shy Lily, like Saba, and like Limalicious and Shoto, and like all of their, like, I take so much inspiration from the way that they use their models. I'm still not great at it in terms of like using the full extent of the rigging, partially because my rigging is kind of ass and it just doesn't have too many capabilities in the first place. Just simply because of the way that I made it. But like I'll look at their rigs and I'm like, this stuff is so cool. And then the way that they utilize it is also just like really well done, because like you can have a spectacularly modeled or a spectacularly rigged model, but you also got to like use it well, and that's something that I like keep seeing being repeated everywhere. And just like the way that they get so expressive with it is awesome. It really is. Like, people don't see my face, but there is still so much, like, facial movement involved in it to, like, exaggerate the facial movement so that the tracker can pick up on it properly, sorry, and translate it through to the animated version. Like, part of the process of like setting up my rig, once I was done rigging and like uploaded it into VTube Studio, I kind of let the sensitivity for some of the things, for some of the features, be a little bit high, so it like fluctuates a lot more than I actually do in real life, just so that like it'll be more dynamic. Because my rigging right now is like, because it's not super professional work, it's not as polished as it could be. There are a lot of things that it's missing in terms of expressions and dynamics, so I'm trying to like make up for it with like the increased sensitivity, but it can only do so much. So I don't know, we try our best. We sometimes succeed. Depends on how you define success. Trying my best. I'm really loving how this what's it called, how the shading of this pillow is turning out. I love doing the thing where it's like the shadow has like these like dark things on the border. It's nice. It's such a nice touch that I always love adding, because it's just so, it's so satisfying to look at. And then if you look at actual photos, you'll see like a very similar effect happen, and then in art we just really exaggerate it, and it just makes things look so much better with the style of it. I've seen a couple of artists do like tutorials on like how exactly they approach this. It's like one of my favorite rendering styles. Just having this border, and also to have like a intermediate color ingredients is also super helpful. Like this pinkish tone that's in between this like orangey red pink color here, and this like purple color cool tone. So you've got this intermediate that's not the direct, like over here you'll see this is the actual like gradient that's created between these two distinct colors. But then if you add a totally different color into it by adjusting the hue and saturation, it makes the art look so much more dynamic. This part right here looks a bit more flat, and I'm actually going to fix that right now. It just makes the gradient look a lot more pleasing. Because otherwise, like, when you look at the color wheel, you're like, you can probably see my cursor, I hope. Michi sings, good morning. Good morning to you. It is dark out for me. It's nighttime for me. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining. Oh, first time in my chat too. Nice to see you. If you look at the color wheel, by the way, what I was explaining is that like when you take this color and you go from this color to this color, it like goes through all of like the, what's it called? The like gray tones that are in the middle. Because like when you have, can I pull up a picture of like an actual friggin' color wheel that has like all the spectrum colors in the middle? Okay, let me see if I can find a decent picture of this. Why do all these pictures suck? These pictures are awful. Okay, this one's more like it. Oh, but it's like, it's gross looking because it's from a site. Ugh, gross. Okay, whatever, good enough, I guess. Let me just like shove it in here. So like when you go from like this, fuck, it's lagging. Oh god. When you go from like this color to this color, and you just do a direct gradient between the two, you get this like weird muddy color in between, because it's like desaturated because it's going through the center of the color wheel. I mean, this color wheel doesn't explain it quite so well, but it basically is going through this really like desaturated tone that is a bunch of stuff blending in together. Whereas if you were to have an intermediate color that's like right here, you're curving around those desaturated tones, so you get more interesting colors and still getting that nice gradient. So like your beginning and end stay the same, you get to the right destination, but in the middle you're just changing the trajectory of where you're going. When I learned that, it blew my mind. What the heck, Mira? Wasn't joking, you're a great artist. You guys compliment me too much. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for the compliments. I'm trying my best. I've been doing this a while. But yeah, good luck with studying. Oh, you're always studying. You're so hardworking. Good luck with studying. Bargus wifey also beautiful. Fox Forest. Oh, nice username. Fox Forest is now following. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining the community. I gotta get these lines to be like a little bit softer over here. They're still a bit too dark, I think. But I also don't want to darken them so much that they don't have a lot of contrast. I think this is somewhat okay. I want to render this one out a bit more. I feel like it looks kind of incomplete. Yeah, just like adding... Even just adding like a quick few strokes of like something different adds so much to it. Just adding that little bit of texturing makes a world of a difference. Think I can love Bargu. She's so pretty. She's such a pretty character. And she also looks like a big teddy bear type character. Like very golden retriever vibes. I know nothing about this character, by the way, other than what Phantom has told me. So... But like everything, all the fan art that I've seen so far has been so cute. So I want to do her justice. She's so pretty. I love women. They're so pretty. I think this should be good. I kind of do like that little like hook right here that goes around this little thing. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's do that. And then I also wanted to add some highlights. Best doggo, even that's an understatement. Yas. Okay, I want to do some like pink highlights over here. Pink highlights up here, maybe. Kind of just adding a little bit of detail to that. You're doing so amazing with her. Thank you. I'm glad I'm doing her justice. That's always what I strive for. I try to put the personality of the character into the drawing. That is actually something that I pay attention to a lot when it comes to commissions. In particular, because like I don't always know, or actually often don't really know the characters that people want commissioned. So I'm like shooting in the dark being like, I don't really know what exactly the vision is, but it's like the client is trying to communicate it to me and I'm like, let's figure it out together. And one of the things that I've run into is that some people don't really know where to begin when it comes to poses, which is fair because it takes artists a long time to like learn how to compose poses in the first place. So some people like have a very general idea of what they want. They're like, oh, I just want this character commissioned and I didn't really think too hard about it, but like you can sort of have creative freedom and do whatever you want. And like when I get that kind of prompt, I'm like, okay, hold up now. Having creative freedom is fantastic, but also you got to give me a little bit of direction with this. And so one of the questions that I'll always or usually will ask in those types of scenarios is like, okay, what's the personality of this character? Like what? Oh, you do a great job of explaining things, Phantom. No worries. Oh, like one of the things that I would usually ask for those particular clients that like don't or like are struggling to come up with an idea, I'll be like, okay, so what's the vibe of this character? What side of this character do you want to portray to the people who are looking at this art? Like, what do you want the vibe to be like? And that's usually a great place to start because they'll be like, oh, well, I don't exactly know what pose I want the character to be in, but I do know that like I want it to be a playful pose, like a playful vibe that highlights, I don't know, like how energetic this character is, for example. Then from there, I get a really good idea of like, okay, what type of personality are we going for? And then bringing that to its full capacity to the surface for that character is like part of what I try to really do with clients when I'm doing commission work. Why does this look weird? Oh no, I found a weird tangent spot where none of my lines really work here, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. Oh, that's an awkward spot. Oh, that looks so weird. What the fuck did I do here? Oh, no. Okay, well, we're just gonna leave it vague. It's fine. It'll just look like it's a little AI generated, but it's okay. Oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We'll exist and we'll live. We'll exist and we'll live. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. Tis fine. So yeah, like, that's been an interesting endeavor that I've learned when it comes to working with clients for art in specific. How do I want to shade this? I kind of want it to be like a lighter color. I don't want it to, I want it to be more subtle shading right in this spot right here. It's kind of like a weird part of the shoulder. Yeah, that looks really weird. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do like a gradient over here and then push this down. There we go. Okay. It's closer to what I'm going for. They'll never know. Yeah, you guys did amazing. She looks really good. Thank you. I'm having a lot of fun with this, actually. The rendering process. I'm like slowly warming up to the rendering process. I normally really don't like rendering, to be so honest. I feel like it's more often than not kind of frustrating because it just takes so much time to get through it. I love the sketching and the design process. That's my favorite part. And then I love like hashing out the details of the line art as well. That's also a lot of fun. Because my strongest suit from the very start, when I first started drawing, my best skill when it came to art was clean lines. And like knocking those out right away from the start, like going like from a very like vague sketch straight into full-on lines, that's been my strength. My weakness, however, has been rendering, because learning all the different textures was difficult for me. And then like a big thing was like figuring out which colors to use, because like even if you study color theory and you're like, okay, generally I know I'm supposed to kind of like try these colors, there's an intuition that comes with it that is so hard to really know until you practice it enough, and so that you ingrain it into your brain that like, oh, this color scheme works. So like I get a little nervous every time I use a new color scheme, because I'm like, well, I'm not entirely sure how this will look, just purely because I haven't used it before. So I'm like worried that it'll look weird because I haven't experimented enough to like be comfortable with it. So that's why a lot of my drawings with my a lot of the drawings that I make of my VTuber model has like a very specific color scheme, because it's just comfortable. And like I know I should be stepping out of the comfort zone a little bit more, but it's comfortable. Oh, this is such a cute song. Actually, debating on which layer to put my lines on for the highlights. I think this should be okay though. We'll see. Because then I can just, I guess I'll put overlays, like color overlays over everything instead of just, yeah, because I do also want to make sure that the lines are overlaid. This right here, this highlight right here looks weird. I'm gonna scrape it out of existence because it looks kind of awful. I'll just use like a much lighter, or not lighter, a less contrasting outline. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That doesn't look so like out of place anymore. Okay, let's do this, and let's give this like a little bit of like brightness over here, because otherwise that hand looks really dark. Ooh, actually, let me properly select this, because otherwise I'm gonna get weird shapes in the middle that don't make sense. Ugh, selection tool, my beloved. When I finally like really learned how to use the selection tool, it's such a game changer. finally, things don't look weird. I think one of the softwares that I was using for a while for drawing had a really weird selection thing where like you couldn't select and then like add more to the selection. You just had to like do it all in one go. And that gives me so much anxiety. It makes me so scared because I'm like, what if I do it wrong? And then I keep fucking it up, and then I have to like make adjustments in super small increments, and it makes me very agitated. Okay, I've got this like weird rough gradient going on here. I don't entirely know what I'm doing. I'm gonna blend it, but I also don't really like how it looks when it's blended sometimes. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, it is like 8:30. I really need to get something to eat, so I'm gonna put the stream on pause real fast and go take care of some stuff so that I can like continue streaming for a little while, because I do gotta eat. And then as soon as I'm done streaming, I'm probably gonna go straight to bed because I'm tired. I'm probably not gonna stream for too much longer. It's already been almost 3 hours. Which is a lot for a work day. My gosh. But it has been super fun. So, okay, yeah, give me a sec to feed my cat. Feed my meowing cat, and also feed myself. Be right back. Hello, I'm back. I love seeing my model spaz out every time I walk past. But I have obtained hydration and food. Good food. So if you don't mind me eating, I'm hungry. I made dumplings. Or, I guess technically I didn't make them, but I cooked them. I bought them from a supermarket. They're very good dumplings. They're mini dumplings and they're very delicious. Oh, this is amazing. I also paired it with like a mixture of a bunch of different sauces. In particular, soy sauce. I think there's like a soybean paste sauce that I've added into it to sort of give it like a thickening agent. And it also has like a distinct flavor to it. And I've added a little bit of bulldog sauce to it too, to make it more spicy. Don't judge me, okay? I love bulldog sauce. It's so spicy, it makes my stomach hurt the next morning. But I eat it anyway. It's so good. What can I say? I just love my bulldog sauce. Don't shame me for it. But yeah, I should probably like not stick around too much longer. I gotta make sure I finish this food, because knowing me, I'm just gonna keep like drawing and then like never finish my food, because I'll just be yapping and chatting. Oh, these dumplings are so good though. These are like mini dumplings that have pork and leek in them, and it's so good. It's such a good combination. I will always rave about pork dumplings. I feel like pork is always the best choice for dumplings. That is for you, for those of you who do not have dietary restrictions for any particular reason. Oh man, it's so good. I'm like running out of dumplings too. I should go buy more this weekend. I think tomorrow I'm gonna make a crab meat dish. There's this like cold serve crab meat thing that I always love to make. Because you can get these imitation crab meat sticks from a lot of Asian stores. And actually, I don't even know. I don't know if other supermarkets in the United States have them. But I usually find them just in like the Asian Oriental stores. And basically what I would do is I would like unwrap all of the imitation crab meat. It has to be like a specific kind of imitation crab meat. And then I would chop it into like smaller pieces. And then I would add in a bunch of mayonnaise, specifically Kewpie mayonnaise. It's like the Japanese version that's like a bit sweeter, a bit less sour, because I prefer the more sweet version. And then additionally, hold on, what color do I want here? Yeah, maybe that works, okay. And then I sometimes add either like a little bit of wasabi or a little bit of like some other spicy sauce to just like give it a little bit of kick to it. Because I love my spicy foods, but not too spicy because I would die. And then I would like use cucumber to dip into it. So you can use like cucumber or you can use chips. I've used chips before, like tortilla chips. I've also used, I just like put it over rice, especially for my lunches. Like it's really good for lunch because it's such an easy food to bring. And it has like a decent amount of protein in it, so it's like nice and filling. Highly recommend if you're like willing to try it out. I don't know, I eat a lot of like really crazy foods that people don't normally like, I feel like. Because a lot of it is just stuff that I grew up with. I grew up with a lot of traditional Chinese and Taiwanese cuisine because my family is from Taiwan. So my mom, because she wanted to cook stuff that she grew up with and she couldn't find any of this type of cuisine in the United States, wherever she was like, okay, well, I just gotta make it myself then. And so she made it herself and like found recipes or like tweaked things so that like it would taste the way that she remembered it traditionally. And as a result of that, I grew up with that kind of cooking, and that was really special to me. So now whenever I go to restaurants, I always like look for that kind of flavor palette that I grew up with. It's like it's very much so a comfort flavor type thing for me. And so there are some things like, I don't know if you guys have heard of the century eggs or 1,000-year eggs, they're sometimes called. But basically they're, actually, I'm just gonna go look up a official definition. Because these things are weird. A Chinese culinary, oh god, do I really want to use AI overview? Hold on. Century eggs, also known as alkalized or preserved eggs, are a Chinese dish made by preserving duck, chicken, or quail eggs in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls for several weeks to several months, depending on the processing method. Through the process, the yolk becomes dark greenish gray in color with a creamy consistency and strong flavor due to hydrogen sulfide and ammonia present, while the white becomes dark brown in color with a translucent jelly-like appearance, a gelatinous texture, and salty and umami flavor. I love this type of egg so much, and it is very particular in the sense that this is one of those foods that people will look at and be like, ew, what are you eating? I love it. I've had some of my like non-Asian friends try it and they were like, yeah, I wouldn't eat this for myself. Like you can have the rest of it. That was interesting. And I know they're like trying to be nice. They're trying not to like hurt my feelings. No feelings hurt, by the way. It's totally fine if you don't like it. But it's just an example of like something I grew up with that I love so much because I had it frequently. And this was the kind of cuisine that my mom really liked. So because my mom really liked it, I was like, oh, surely I must like it too. It's the same thing with chicken feet. I don't know how many of you have had chicken feet, but it's one of my favorite cuisines. Or like dishes, I should say. Depending on how it's cooked. But that's another thing that I grew up with, and some people are like, ew, I like just can't imagine eating that kind of thing because it's like it's a whole like chicken's foot. So some people find it really like visceral and gross. But I'm like, I had this for so much of my life and I really grew up with it. I mean, it's a dish that means a lot to me. And then, of course, there's the classic, like, xiaolongbao, which is, like, the soup dumplings. Those are always a really good classic. Those are lovely. And that's, like, more widespread in terms of its notoriety, so people know those a bit more. Or things like the beef noodle soup. Taiwanese beef noodle soup is banger. It is so good. I'm always willing to try a dish at least once. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I think the only thing I wouldn't really want to try, just because I just simply don't think I would like it because of the smell, is durian. Like, if someone wanted to give me something that's durian flavored, I'll try it. But durian itself, I'm just like, this is like one thing I'll pass on. Another thing that I think I would pass on without wanting to try it is it Filipino? I think it's Filipino. That one Filipino dish that's like you can actually see the like the duck or the chicken embryo in it and then you eat it. I personally can't do that. Like, mad respect to the people who enjoy that dish regularly. It definitely seems like an acquired taste though, and I personally don't think I could do that. But like because of the foods that I eat myself that I really enjoy, like I get why those people will enjoy those kinds of dishes because it's like if it's something that you grew up with, it's something that you grew up with and you're just used to it. But it really is that like initial hurdle of getting past the initial appearances or like your preconceived notions about it. But otherwise, like aside from those things, I'll eat most stuff. I'm not super picky with food. I won't eat certain things like olives and mustard, but if I have to, I will if it's with other stuff. I will try most things at least once. Some things though I don't think I can. Yeah, and that's totally valid. Like nobody's that's like something I found kind of frustrating when some people are like instantly jumped at the conclusion of like, oh, you're being judgmental. And it's like, no, if you don't want to eat it, you don't want to eat it, and that's totally fine. Like you don't have to try everything, but just be respectful about the culture and that someone does in fact eat this and think that it's really good. And that's all. So the fine line of like treating particular cultures a certain way with respect and dignity is a fine balance that some people on the internet struggle with and other people understand. So I don't know. Depends on the person, I suppose. Ooh, I love adding this color right here. Oh, this is so pretty looking. I love this pink. It's interesting because I feel like I so rarely use pink in my color schemes. I feel like it really isn't that often that I find pink like naturally occurring in the color scheme that I draw with. Am I crazy? Am I deluding myself? Hold on, I'm gonna pull up my Instagram. Hold on, I gotta check. Am I crazy? Because I feel like I don't use pink that often. I used pink that one time for the cherry blossoms, but I didn't really color or render with pink. I just like overlaid what was originally blue. I guess I kind of use a pinkish color for some of the skin tones or like the lighter red. But I feel like that I always categorize that as like orange in my brain or red in my brain. I never categorize it quite as pink. Am I crazy for that? I think I'm crazy for that. I'm probably crazy for that. Maybe I'm going insane. I'm getting to the point in the evening where I'm tired and I'm rambling and I don't make a whole lot of coherent sense anymore. I started out this stream pretty coherent and pretty eloquent, and now I feel like I'm just spewing bullshit simply because I'm existing, and that's all. What color do I use for this? I feel like I gotta do some sort of highlight, but I also don't want to make it obnoxious. I think I'll do what I've done in another drawing, and I'll do like the little like circle highlight. And I'll just add like some dots to give it a little bit of definition. I think that works kind of. It might not be like super it's like it's okay. How should I go about this? Maybe something like that. No, I don't really like that. also don't really like that. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm just gonna erase it. Hold on. I'm gonna do that again, but I said on this layer. I think I'll make it also a little smaller of an oval. Okay, I think that's a bit better. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Okie dokie. Then we'll do like the elbow right here. Yeesh. Trying to get the colors right. Oh my god. Add sort of like a light tone over there. That's not light enough. That feels a bit too light. I'm running into problems. Okay, that should be fine. And then I'll just do like a... I don't like how that looks, actually. They look like eyes! Fuck it, I'm deleting it. Deleting the whole thing. They look like eyes on the... No. I don't want them to look like eyes on the... But I want there to be highlights, and I want it to look pretty and not so, like, crazy. I think I'll just do the usual teardrop shape for highlights. And I see the eyes. I know, right? I think this looks a bit better. It's like a more subtle kind of shiny. I hope. And then I'm gonna just like tone down that light part, because I don't want things to be too bright either. Like, contrast is great, but for this one I want it to be more light and subtle. So maybe I don't even wanna... I think there's already enough definition in those arms that I don't need that added highlight, right? Just something subtle to get through. And then I might keep the leg rendering a little less because there's curtains. And I want to adjust the opacity of these curtains at some point. I think, methinks. Okay, I should really eat more. Jesus Christ. Yum. It's good. Okay. I'm trying to think what else needs to be done right now for this. If anything, I probably might finish it tomorrow. It depends on like how I'm feeling and what I'm trying to get done tomorrow. Ah, shoot. I dropped my dumpling into the sauce. Now it's too much sauce. Oh, shoot. So a lot of the rendering of like the main stuff is like okay. The details are all there for the most part. I'm gonna try, actually, hold on. Can I try an adjustment of the contrast? I don't know why I copy pasted the layer. I literally could have just made a separate layer that was a for brightness contrast. I don't know, like I do see what I'm getting at. I know you guys can't see the extra window that I've popped out to adjust the numbers, but like, what do you guys think about this change? Making it a bit more defined. I'm like zooming out so that I can sort of see the general thumbnail, see if things are recognizable, and see if it makes a noticeable enough change that's worth it. I don't know, I just feel like it's increasing the saturation a lot of things. It's also making the vignette around Vargas like more defined. But I don't know if I like the change quite that much. I feel like it is a good change. But just like maybe tone it down to like 65%. Here. So this is the original, and this is with changes. Original, and with changes. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? I kind of like pushing the contrast a little bit more, because as soon as I switch back to the lower saturation, or like the lower contrast, I can see why I wanted the change in the first place, right? You like the changes? Okay, but we'll keep the changes. Oof, okay. And then I have this like orangey overlay. I don't know how much I like it though, because it makes everything way more, I don't know, it kind of dulls some of the cool tones. So I think I might want to do a slight adjustment to that where I keep the orange overlay just in like very particular areas over the hair. I don't know, we'll see. Like right here on the face. Because I don't want to like dim, like see how this is kind of changing the color of the pillow and the curtains in the back and the darkness of her tank top and like tinting her skin a lot. I don't know, I think it's just a little bit overbearing. But like if I keep it focused right here on the side of the face where the hair kind of glows a bit, I think that is way more effective, right? That way we're focusing on the blonde, like glowing hair type thing, right? And I'll just have it like leak a little bit onto the skin so that the skin's like red tone comes out a little more at those edges. I think that's much better as opposed to this like wider change. Yeah, we're gonna keep it like that. That looks so much better with focusing. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Let me save this, actually. Let me save this before I lose all my progress. Oh my god. Okay, let's see. I feel like there's too many other highlights I want to make. Add like a little curvature to the nose. Does that help at all? I don't know. I don't think it helps that much, but I mean, it's like, it's not bad. Ah, shit, I fucked it up. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, I'll keep this little change as well. Okay. It do. It do, it be. It be, it do. Okay. I kind of also want to put a little bit of like, you know how some girls will put, or guys as well, some people will put like tinsel in their hair to make it glitter a little bit. I feel like I kind of want to put a little bit of something of a highlight into her hair that makes it just glitter slightly. Like just like a light sort of highlight like that. Do you get what I mean? So it's almost like a thin thread of like dewdrops on her hair just to give like an extra sparkle. I feel like that will make the hair a bit more interesting because otherwise right now it's like the hair sure do exist and that's pretty much it. It doesn't have anything super special about it, and the focus is supposed to be on the hair, so the hair needs to have the most detail in this case, like the hair and the face. Yeah, I kind of like where this is going. It just gives a little bit more magic. Yeah, okay. I'm liking this so far. Also, sorry if like the flipping of the canvas back and forth gives people motion sickness. I hope it doesn't. I rely heavily on flipping the canvas. So if it is something that you don't like, please let me know and I will try to do less of it. But a lot of times I'm trying to flip the canvas so that a curve that I'm trying to do conforms with the shape of my hand and like the arc of my wrist. Just based on like how the muscle memory works, and so that it puts a bit less pressure on my wrist while I draw. Because while I'm doing a lot of like hands-on work while in the lab at work, I notice that sometimes a lot of strain gets put onto my hands and wrists if I'm not super careful. And this was also especially important for me to keep in mind when I was doing piano at the same time as a lot of other things and like trying to take a lot of notes for schoolwork. So I've gone to great lengths to take care of my wrists and try to prevent any sort of carpal tunnel or something from kicking in, because as soon as it kicks in once, it's really easy for that type of stuff to come back, I feel like, because it wears down at the tendons in the wrist, and those tendons can be really fragile sometimes. I feel like, at least. I'm not an expert on this, but that's how I feel. I've had a couple of my friends complaining about hand injuries, and it just it just sounds so harrowing to deal with, honestly. Because it's so debilitating sometimes. Because we do so many things with our hands. So I try to be as careful as possible and catch it ahead of time if I feel like I'm putting too much strain on them. There was a time where, like, if I draw too much too quickly, and I spend like a couple days in a row doing almost nothing but drawing, it immediately wears down on my hands. So like I can't even imagine doing art for a living, because it's just like it would take such a heavy toll on me physically. I don't know if it's just because I'm not warming up well enough or if I'm doing something wrong, but like it's not quite as quick as I feel like I'm describing it, but it is noticeable as things sort of compound onto each other. Do you get what I mean? I gotta respect the level of dedication here. I'm glad. I try really hard. I try really hard because I want to make every art piece that I make good. And not only do I want to make it good for you, but I myself also want to be proud of the stuff that I make. And I have such a high standard for myself that I don't know, I keep pushing myself to be better and better and better and better and do more and like improve as quickly as possible. It's always such a constant struggle trying to be like, hey, slow down, it's fine. Don't do too much, it's fine. Like, Phantom, you know that about me, with like how many times I redrew this commission for you because I kept feeling like it wasn't quite good enough. Which is why you gotta give me a deadline. Otherwise, I'll never finish. I will say I am well on my way to finishing this, though. I will definitely. I'm on track to get this done sooner rather than later. Lord, do I know? I know, I know, I know. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this highlight process, just letting the hair sort of glitter. Like when you zoom out, you can't really see it too much, but like as soon as you zoom in, all of those details pop right out. And I think that's definitely what I want to go for. Oh, I love the way this is turning out. This is nice. And that way it also follows, these little strings of dots also follow the shape of the hair too. Oh, it just makes it look so much nicer. I think I also want to do some highlights like on the eyelashes a little bit. Yeah, something like this. I think this looks nice. Gives it just like an extra little bit of detail. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then I think, do I want to adjust the shading of this? No, I don't think it's necessary actually. I think the shading there is okay. It complements the hair? I think it does. I think it really does. I'm really happy with that. I also am just trying to be careful not to overdo it as well, because if I overdo it, then it's just like covered in glitter, and I'm like, ooh, that's a bit overbearing. I notice that when I rush pieces, when I rush art that I'm trying to get done quickly, sooner rather than later, I try to find ways to make something look as good as possible with as little effort as I can. And it makes me feel awful. It sucks so bad. I hate putting that kind of pressure on myself. Because then I'll be like, oh, if I do this one gimmick, it'll make it better. Like if I add a shit ton of overlays and adjust the color like crazy, then it'll make it better. And then I always look back at these types of pieces and I'm like, that was a definitively, objectively terrible idea. Like it frustrates me so much when I do that to myself because I'm like, that was wholly unnecessary and I really just like shot myself in the foot with that one. It's always those pieces that I rush that I always look back at and I'm like, oh god, it looks so bad. Like some of the pieces, some of the artwork that I've made that I've spent a bit more time on, even if my art style has grown a lot since then, and I look back at it and I'm like, yeah, there was a lot of room for improvement, I'll still look back at those pieces and be like, actually, like, it was not bad though. Like, it was not bad. But every single time I look at a rushed piece, I always instantly am like turned away by it. I just think it just looks awful and it makes me feel really gross and icky. Okay. I swear to god, I need to like set a timer or something for me to like stop streaming because I gotta finish my food and go to bed. I keep sleeping at midnight, which is not good for me because I need a full night's rest in order to feel okay the next morning. I am not the type of person that can survive and thrive on little to no sleep. I can't do that. And so if I go to bed at 8, or not at 8, sorry, at like midnight, when I get up in the morning, because I have to get up fairly early, it just totally wrecks me. And I was definitely feeling that today, because I went to bed a bit late last night, because I had a bunch of stuff going on. Girl, you gotta not push yourself. I know. The thing is, though, it's just like, it's not even like pushing myself. That's the problem. I have to push myself to go to bed. I feel like plenty of people relate to this. Where you don't want to get up in the morning and you don't want to go to bed at night. I can't be the only one. Come on, come on. liking this. Yes, yes. And then I'll just have the glitter like slowly dissipate as we get towards the shadows. Mm-hmm. I like this. I like this a lot. Oops. Did I just delete? Ooh, I did just erase. Okay. Let me be careful of that. I forgot that I had other stuff on this highlights layer that I didn't want to erase. Oopsie. Okay. This is okay. Alright, I like where this is going. And then I think, because I want to have it mostly around the face, I don't know if I want to do it for the rest of the hair. Even if the hair is in the light, I don't think I want to do it for the rest of the hair. Let's see. I think this is better. Also, I just like looked up at the screen at the chat that's like displayed on the live stream. And it's just like all green Phantom protagonist all the way down. I don't know why that's kind of funny to me. That it's just like this wall of green. Because the green is like so fluorescent and bright against like the very desaturated Clip Studio Paint background. Oh man. I'm glad I finally managed to get chat working on OBS though. Because I was trying to like figure out how to transfer it over from Streamlabs into OBS, and it was like a whole thing. I had to figure it out. Gets your attention. It does. It really does. But I kind of like the simple look of the chat. I feel like I don't need anything super complicated to put there. I mean, maybe I'll put like a little... Maybe at some point I'll stylize it, but I kind of like having it all compact in one spot. It just makes it easier to keep track of chat, and so people who are like viewing the VOD later can actually read along with chat instead of having it like disappear a bit too quickly. But I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing. Okay, how much more of this do I want to do? Not too much more because I'm getting so sleepy. Put a little bit on here. And a little bit on here. Glitter for you! And glitter for you! And glitter over here! And glitter over there! You get glitter, and everyone gets glitter. Ooh! Oh, how do I read that name? Oh, X Stray Kid! Is now following. Are you a stay? Thank you for the follow! I greatly appreciate it. Oh my god, I think I'm getting kind of close to the 100 follower mark. Oh, that's so exciting! Oh, what was my, I had a list of goals. Oh, what was my 100 goal? I think it was hand cam, right? I'm fairly certain. Right, okay, 100 followers was unlock hand cam and cat cam. 200 would showcase some of my piano repertoire, which I really gotta work on at some point. 300 followers, I was gonna read the entire Shrek movie script. 400, I was gonna do a whisper ASMR stream. That would be easier on my voice too. 500 followers, I was gonna draw 1 star for every follower that I had. And then I didn't set any goals for after that because I don't know if I'll get that far. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Maybe if I'm consistent enough. The idea of streaming is such a crazy idea. Just the fact that this even exists at all is such an interesting phenomenon of humanity, I feel like. I was just watching I think it was a Josh Johnson. I used to be not as much anymore, but just kept the name. Oh, valid, valid. So valid. It's a nice name. I feel like been looking for like the past hour or two. I really like your art. Thank you. Also, thank you for lurking. Thank you for all of the lurkers out there. You guys carry. I do appreciate all the lurkers. I often lurk as well in other people's streams because I'm just trying to do something else and just having it on while I'm out and about. But yes, yes, thank you for the follow. Glad that you're enjoying it. I hope you like the vibes. I'm really trying to get this to work. I feel like every time I add a little bit of glitter, I'm like, I could add more. But what if I added more? But like a little bit more. Because surely we can we ever have enough glitter? Truly? Truly, truly? But yeah, I think, oh, going back to my other train of thought, jeez, I'm like flying all over the place right now. Going back to my other train of thought, I was watching a couple of clips of Josh Johnson, I think it was, like his comedy skits. And I think there was something that you described about how there used to be a set TV, and like TV was its own thing. But then more recently, because of the way that broadcasting has become so easy to do, now anybody can be like anybody and everybody can become TV. And like hearing it phrased that way was like super interesting because I was like, oh yeah, that does make sense. Like that is very true to what we're kind of seeing, where like anybody can just boot up their phone and start streaming whatever they want for the most part. Um, and there are so many instances where it's like you're just some random passerby on the street, but you get caught in someone's shot, like the camera shot, or you, oh, I don't like this strand of, yeah, I don't like this strand right here. But like, or you get pulled aside for an interview, or something crazy happens and it's caught on camera, like, and the video goes viral, and suddenly you are TV. And I'm like, geez, that's a crazy concept. The fact that that exists in this day and age, and like like, people should be less afraid of guns and more afraid of cameras, in some senses, because of just how like litigious things can be and how easily camera footage can be used for, I don't know, ruining people's lives, I feel like, or like changing them drastically. I don't know, it's just a complicated topic. I'm not being very coherent about it right now. I feel like I've lost a lot of my coherency along the way on the stream. I don't know what happened in the past like 3.5 hours. I'm going crazy. I definitely can't finish this drawing today. I was really hoping I could, but there is definitely a lot going on. I didn't realize how much it was. But I'm making a lot of really good progress. This is a significant chunk of progress from what I started with earlier when I started the stream. So I'll say it's a win. It's a win. I did good. I feel like I'm never quite as productive on stream as I always want to be. I'm like, oh, I'll get this done, and then I'll get that done, and then also I'll do this and that, and then maybe once I'm done with this, then I can switch over and do that instead. And so I make all these plans, and I'm like, I've got like a ton of stuff that I can do, just like plotted out in my head, and then when I'm actually streaming, I'm just like, nah. I just sort of exist and then like coast along, and then I'm like, oh shoot, it's already been like 5 hours. I should probably go to bed or like go take care of chores. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to better time things. Because I thought, okay, let's take Undertale for example. Because I just finished playing Undertale on Monday. It took me like 4 streams. It should not have taken me 4 streams to finish Undertale, I swear to God. Because it's like it should be only like a 6 to 11 hour game, depending like how many of the details you pay attention to. And it took me, God, how long did it take me? Hold on, I'm gonna pull up my Twitch. Where's my channel? It took me 6, 8.5, like 12, 13, 14, 15.5 hours to finish Undertale. I will say 30 of those minutes was dedicated to me fighting a wasp. So I think I should be given a little bit of slack for that. I did, in fact, have to battle a wasp, and I came out on top. I won. The wasp lived, but I got the wasp out of my apartment, so that's all that matters. But yeah, that was truly an arduous battle for my life. We battled to the death, and we ended up in an okay position for the both of us. But my God, because I felt so bad because I couldn't get near my desk because my desk is right next to my windows, and then my windows also have like a bunch of bees, or not bees, sorry, it had the wasps flying around the windows trying to get out because of the light outside, and so I couldn't go near my desk. And so I you can watch the stream back. I can't remember which stream it was, but it was like, oh, it was like this past Sunday, I think. It was Undertale finale, except I didn't actually finish the game during that stream. But like, if you go to like about 3 hours in, if you go about 3 hours into the VOD should be up on my Twitch. If it's not, it's up on YouTube for sure. But if you go like 3 hours in, I'm battling this wasp, and I sound so far away from the mic, and the mic sounds so echoey. Oh my God, and I had to like go and wrangle Mimi so that she wouldn't, Mimi is my cat, by the way, for people who don't know. I had to wrangle her so that she wouldn't like jump out the window or like do something crazy without me intending her to, because I had to open a window to let the wasp out, but I'm like not in a place where her jumping out the window will be okay for her in any way, shape, or form. So, like, I was panicking, and like Mimi wasn't happy because she had to get shoved into her carrier, and I wasn't happy because there's a giant wasp with this huge looking stinger, and I'm like, I could die today. It was very dramatic, I say. A lot was going on, but I won. I remained victorious. What else do I want to do with this drawing? I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm too tired to like really make functional decisions about how I want to make this look. I think the last thing that I'm gonna work on is to adjust the direction of the candles. Like the flow, I should say, of the flames from the candles. Because like this is okay. But I think it's too linear across the screen. Like, I just think I might also have to adjust my line art right here, I think. I might even delete the line art entirely and like blur out the candles in the front a bit so that it's more like a flickering light source as opposed to a like clearly defined object in the foreground. Because the focus, as always, should be on Barghest. So I don't want to like add too many details to distract from that. But also, candles are pretty. That's all I have to say. Candles are pretty. But I kind of want to have like the flames moving closer to her. Instead of just being in the foreground, I wanted to give the illusion of like floating. Okay. That way, again, like I want it to be sparkly and magical and like really serene. I always love adding a little bit of fantasy and a little bit of magic to my drawings. It just makes it so much more, I don't know how to call it, like, it just brings so much more life to it in my opinion. Like, some artists are really good at realism and making something look more like slice of life. Some artists are really good at like the hyper realism and sort of like the uncanny aspect of things if they're like a horror artist. Some artists are really good at the um like portrayal of character. Like I admire a lot of those artists that draw those, like, what's it called? Just like very domestic things, I should say. And then turn it into something that just looks so beautiful. But I've always been fascinated by fantasy. So I love making things a little bit magical. That is a little added flavor that I like. And also, like, it plays a lot into the way that I made my VTuber model character. This character of mine, so the part of the lore is that it's, she's a dream walker, or rather, like, I'm a dream walker. And the whole premise of that is, like, making your dreams come true one by one, but without, like, intruding too far into your life. But I'm just like a spectator that sort of floats by. Another like metaphor that I've used, I probably think about this way too hard, but another metaphor that I like to use is, you know how a lot of people will be like, I want to be a star one day. I do love the motif of stars, but I feel like when it comes to myself, I compare myself more to a moon than a star, in the sense that my aspiration is less so to make people be like super in awe of me, but rather to help others see the value in themselves, in the same way that a moon doesn't actually generate any light by itself. It's reflecting, rather, light that has been emitted by the nearby star. Like, our moon, we only see it because the sun lights it up. So for that same reason, like, everybody else, I want everybody else to be the star that lights up, and I'm just that mirror that reflects your light back onto you. Like, that's kind of what I aim to be. But maybe I'm being too, like, this I'm 14 and this is deep about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too hard. I'm going too crazy about it. But, like, that's just been, for lack of better phrasing, I guess, like, sort of my muse over the years. Especially since I've seen so many people grow in different ways, and I love seeing the way that people grow, and seeing the way they learn how to take care of themselves, learn how to take care of the people around them too, even. And watching people blossom into such well-rounded personalities with flavor and with, like, so much intricacy and nuance. And seeing that nuance and seeing that healing process of the way that people process the like any traumas that they went through, seeing them process just their experiences, what they're learning as they're going through it. I've like fallen in love with that kind of thing, because it's just such a beautiful trait of humanity. This is how we know it's getting too late in the evening, because I'm getting all, like, sentimental. Oh, this is not okay. Oh, someone stop me. Someone stop me. I think I'm getting to a point where I like the way that this is going. I still think this looks a little too linear over here, but it's not quite as bad as before. I like this little, like, curve that I've done here. I kind of want it to, like, curve back a little bit, and then Like, I don't know. I'm trying to carve out shapes, but I don't exactly know where I'm going with this. So these shapes are very abstract. And I'm gonna have to fix that later. But, I mean, this is not a bad start. I've been seeing that trend on Twitter where it's like, make it exist first, and then you can make it better. And it's a lot of artists that are posting the work in progress of something that they were working on, and it's kind of like janky looking, or like it's definitely a rough sketch of whatever's going on, and like clearly unfinished. And then they post in like the second picture, it's just like this beautiful creation that they turned it into, from that bare bones like skeleton that they started with. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool, seeing the different ways that people outline uh or like start with their work, what kind of guidelines that they use, how they visualize things from the start. I think I saw one that was like a pixel art, and it was like of some turtle. It was some like magical turtle looking thing. And oh my god. It was like a little like turtle doodle in the work in progress version, and then the final version was this stunning like crystal cave with the turtle in the center as like the centerpiece. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Oh, that stuff is amazing. Okay. I think... Oh, by the way, does Barghest... Okay, before I end stream, I have to know, does Barghest have any sort of magic abilities in particular? I have to know, because is she like a flame warrior? What's it? Is it lightning, or like what does she use? Barghest Fate Order. Because I kind of want to incorporate a little bit of that into this art if I can, but I'm not exactly sure how it looks. I'm like searching her up right now. It looks more like flames, but it's kind of got the shape and like properties of lightning almost, the way that it's like sparking off of the blade. That's interesting. I don't know exactly what to do with that. I guess I wonder if the candle is okay enough. Oh, then I wonder, okay, so it's, what I'm seeing is that it's like a red flame that transforms into blue at the end. So I wonder if I can play on that a little bit and do like a, turn the edges of this blue, like the way that her ability works. Because I love my gradients. And then do like more red over here. Trying to think. So it's like starts out yellow when it's sparking off the blade, the yellow on the inside of the fire, red on the outside of the fire. Okay, I fucked that up immediately already. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like something like this. Are y'all getting the vision? Do y'all see what I'm getting at? I feel I'm trying really hard. I think this, right? And then just have it like slowly transition into this like beautiful blue color. Right? That's some nice personality right there. There's a whole lot of personality, like really big personality in this drawing. It's so much personality. Really just an astounding amount of personality. Oh, what is wrong with me? I need to go to bed, man. I'm going crazy. But I'm also like afraid to actually shout and scream because I am in a place where people can probably hear me, so. I also love how you can see the flaws in my model's rigging. Because I'll speak and you'll see my PNG tuber on my shoulder freak out. But then, like, if you actually look at my model, the mouth isn't moving that much, and I blame the lighting in my room for that. I give up. I give up, quite frankly. If I earn enough money, I'll let someone else deal with that. I give up. Okay, I'm just gonna let the fire be. I'm also going to... Oh, excuse me. My god. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think I should go to bed. I'm gonna turn off the lines for the candle as well, because I just don't think it was helping that much. Let's name this layer properly. Candles. And then let's do like the... I don't know how I want to draw this wick, but... something like that, I guess. And then... I don't like how that looks. Can I just take a dark blue? I don't know how that looks. That looks like garbage, to be so honest. I don't know what wicks normally look like. The wick should probably be thicker. That is a conclusion that I'm coming to. The other conclusion that I'm coming to is I should probably save this and just go to bed. I'm so eepy. But alas. We thrive. Okay, I got a lot of work done. Did a lot of rendering. Did a lot of adjustments. Fixed the fire so it doesn't look quite so weird. Rendered out the hair, the skin, the pillow. Or pillows. I'm gonna add plushies next time. Some plushies like maybe right here, right here, right here. Or just like cuddled up right next to her, like one or two peeking out from behind her. I'm gonna flesh out... Well, I'm just gonna like render the curtains kind of loosely in the background because that is not really a main focus of this. Same thing with the window, I'll just throw something in there. And then the curtains, I'll probably just do like a light color over. I don't know. I'm gonna figure out how I want to do the curtains exactly because I want it to be translucent for sure, but I'm like struggling to figure out exactly which color I want to use because currently I have sort of a light tone, but it looks too white. It's like bleaching everything, all the colors underneath it. So it just looks really weird. I wonder if I want to play around with some overlays so that it's more of like a... So it color adjusts as well as like puts a screen. I don't know. I'm saying a lot of words that don't make a whole lot of sense, and I should go to bed. It's like I've been almost 4 hours. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the raiders who came, all of you guys. That was really sweet of you. For any people who are lurking, thank you so much for being part of the community. For all the people who chatted with me, thank you for chatting with me and keeping me company. For all my friends, good to see you. Good to see you again. And I will see you all the next time I stream. I'm thinking I might stream tomorrow at maybe around the same time, but I'm not entirely sure because I'm kind of EP. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I may or may not. I'll make an announcement on my Twitter. We'll see. Also, if you're not following my Twitter, I put, here, let me just pull it up into the chat. That is my Twitter, or my File Technicalities. I post a lot of my updates on there, so whenever I'm streaming, I'll post that I'm streaming. And I haven't made a schedule graphic yet. I really should. But I think I'll probably... I'm streaming every Sunday and Wednesday. I think on this upcoming Sunday, I'll start stream a little bit later because I have something going on in the morning. And then... any other day, I sometimes might do an art stream. I might not. It really just depends on how my schedule shakes out. So we'll see. But thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been very fun. I'm glad I got to ramble. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.